Hello everyone, and welcome back to the North American Strikers Training Grounds. We're here for the playoffs, and I'm here with Potat to bring you the action. And we're starting off with Groundhog Day versus the Handless Dogs.
Yeah, this should be a pretty fun one here. We got, losers round one here in the top six, so should be a very interesting series. Let me check the past matches. I think Dog versus Groundhog was a pretty hype series as well in the past. But it looks like Dog took back during week 5, took the series 2-0 against Groundhog Day, only losing one set. So we will see here in this match whether or not Groundhog Day can overcome their demons. But also, I mean, it is looks like Handless Dog's coming from the winner side, who lost to Koyo during our last broadcasting of the playoffs. So we'll see what happens here in this series.
Yeah, we will have to see, especially because there's a lot of comfort here, right, for the side of Groundhog Day. And with Sphinx on the Juno and Flowers on the Vice, a lot of damage potential coming out. But importantly, no stuffing Brawler. We'll see if Weston, who is a very highly regarded goalie, can hold. But the power play is already beginning. Flowers going for a crazy angle, burning the log from Weston, getting it out of the corner. Sphinx in position. The Rune Pillar disrupting for a moment, but not quite enough, it seems, as Sphinx gets it right through, and Flowers will secure it. That's the first goal for Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I think what the side of Groundhog Day is kind of wanting to do with this game is, with the Juno and the Vice, they have a lot more opportunities to kind of run circles around Weston's character of Tubu. So I think it'll be interesting to see, because Flowers, I know, was my old teammate on Famine Corp and has proceeded to only get better since we last played. And I mean, Sphinx always just is able to hold it down on that Juno pick, so if they're able to just kind of pass around, it looks like Flowers is taking the more offensive position in this comp. But I think so far they've been able to kind of like pass around and get the core through Weston. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how each team adapts. And I think the double midfield should be interesting, because it can only last for so long, and at some point that Nicky Nolan can come in with the dash punch and get those kills, and ultimately has much more stuffing power, as you said, than that Juno and Vice forward combo.
Yeah, the Juno and Vice are really dependent on putting the damage down, getting that advantage, and finding core speed. But Nicky, so methodical in the corner. Mr. Flambeau with the rebound. Not quite going to catch it is Nicky, but Weston to the bottom side. Mr. Flambeau building up a lot of meter. Same can be said about the Juliet again. And a flip in the bottom pocket will secure it. That's going to be a goal in return, and the game tied up.
Yeah, it's all tied up now, and I think both teams are looking pretty comfortable here. As you said, yeah, there's a lot of comfort picks going out here onto this field. And I mean, honestly, I think it should be a very variable game, right? Because you got a very stuffing, like, I think I always like to kind of categorize brawlers and midfielders into two kind of picks, which is more those just rapid, all of a sudden you're dead now, or the core's in. Which is kind of what Rune and Julie feel like, because Julie, dash punch, the bread and butter of every brawler, Juliet, and then that banish combo can just kind of take you off the field whenever you're at full health. So versus this kind of Juno and Vice that are chipping you down, chipping your health bar away. So we'll see what's happening here, but ultimately that Groundhog Day goal is open, and that's gonna be a goal scored.
Yeah, and big in that play was just Nicky just standing on top of Jewish Asian, constantly making sure the Mako secondary was not kept up, making sure the pressure was on to the Mako, and the relatively mobile character was just getting body blocked all throughout that point. And on the other end, two barriers taken in an instant. Those kinds of barrier takes are dangerous for the Handless Dogs. This is the perfect situation for Groundhog Day to get something done.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need here. They are down 1 point, but that flip from Jewish Asian is going to be a little scary now. You don't have that to use on defense, and Flowers has to burn the flip with that Nicky Juliet just standing right in her face. So we'll see. Ooh, really good flip attempt from Nicky Nolan. But ultimately, Jewish Asian is going to be able to send it away with that secondary and keep it out for now.
Oh, dangerous spot, but the clear is good from Jewish Asian. Weston now in a lot of trouble, and a great strike by Flowers to the bottom corner will tie up the set. And Potat, we're suddenly at a .5 already.
Yeah, set five or not set five. Set five would be nice, but we'll see what happens here. Point five though, as you said, and I mean honestly, I'm down for either team to win this one here, because you know the Potat curse. Brickbat was talking about it, but it kind of got debunked yesterday. We'll see if it continues. Whoever wins this game one, Flowers I know is a huge believer in it, but we'll see. This first set can make just super big progress for teams in this playoffs here, because if you win that first set, you might be able to get, say, I mean, Flowers has that prize better, might be able to get a specialized training or extra special to utilize. So we will see what happens. As I mean, already though, no berries have gone down, and it's almost overtime here.
Yeah, Nikki brought low. No evades available for this Juliet. Sphinx as well, but the Juno has a lot more tools here. They're continuing to help defend, but the bottom side of the barrier is wide open, and Nikki capitalizes. That's one in the favor of Dog as Flowers approaches, but the Vice at melee range, not the scariest character in the world, and Weston will fend her away for now. Flowers, though, putting on a ton of damage here, just making sure Nikki has no evades available. Same for Mr. Flambeau, and 2 barriers down to the core speed. It's overtime, and this Juno is activated here. Sphinx with a chance, but the Tofu Fortress says no. Flowers sending it to the other side of the world and unable to find it. No, Flowers blinks forward and gets the 50-50 win versus Weston to the bottom corner. That's a big set win, and like you said, the scaling is inevitable for this team.
Yeah, and I mean, as we saw there with that goal, you just get to, if you find that debut in open space, all of a sudden, it's a very good opportunity for you to, you know, get that goal and now be rewarded with a heavy impact on that first draft for Flowers. I mean, if you're Flowers, you're gonna love to see, I mean, Pummeler's, prize fighter, and heavy impact. Just three combos for, oh my gosh, pain and suffering for the other team. I will say, though, that, Recovery Drone and Primetime might be very scary on Nikki Mullen and Mr. Flambeau there, because, you know, you have that room with those extra pillars that he can put up, and on top of the Twin Drive actually off the start. So, you know, that's 2 extra pillars just from those awakenings that you'll be able to use if you are that rune. And then, you know, Nikki getting that extra size with that Recovery Drone, going to have far more opportunities to just kind of stuff out anything Jewish Asian tries to do. Since Jewish Asian didn't even take pauldrons, which not really to be expected, but I mean, you have double or an extra size on top of against the Mako with no size. So we'll see how that all plays out. But getting into this point here, Nikki is able to take that barrier, but I mean, both teams have barrier down. Jewish Asian loses that second one, and now it's an open net for Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and this is a big opportunity for the Handless Dogs to get something done here. The host of range damage awakenings on the side of Groundhog Day are scary, but like you said, a lot of utility on the end of Handless Dogs. Right now, though, Flowers in an awkward spot near the edge. Almost gets Sash punched off. If Nikki had a little bit more knockback, that would have been pretty bad here. But it's clogged up in the midfield for now. And Flowers with the primary into Supernova will find a big KO. The power play starting up now as Flowers navigates around the map. So much speed off the center gate. Looking like a core controller, contrary to her reputation at the moment. And Mr. Flambeau in a dangerous situation. Good elusive by Weston. That could have killed with the heavy impact. And now Jewish Asian, the one who has to sweat a little bit. Still manages to clear, but Sphinx now a huge threat with the slimes. Weston finds the bottom clear, and once again it's good defense for the Handless Dogs, but they can't really get it to Nikki. Nikki being forced to defend is horrible for the Dogs when they rely on that brawler to get past Jewish Asian.
Yeah, they just got to be able to get past that Mako, and you know, Jewish Asian with basically everything available right now. That core flip, that empowered strike, not anymore, but has a whole lot of cooldowns available and has so many opportunities here. But on the other side, Flowers and Sphinx are working their way up. Sphinx now with that core flip might not need it quite yet. Gonna use it though in order to get it through. Oh, really good strike, but ultimately Mr. Flambeau and Nikki are able to keep it out for the time being. Weston forced to use that evade, but now no energy to his name. Ooh, this is scary, Saya.
Definitely is. Jewish Asian the one who has to sweat a little bit here. Great sword angle to get away from Nikki for now. And navigating to the top side. But Mr. Flambeau, the thread, the slimes, the core speed, Sphinx controlling the game at the moment as Flowers approaches slowly, playing like a brawler, looking for the strike war, but not quite close enough here. The rebounds though off the pillar are dangerous. Flip has to be burned to avoid any potential catastrophe for Mr. Flambeau. And now Jewish Asian continuing to hold on to the flip here. Burns it early. Nikki gets the strike, but the banish actually prevents a huge play, it feels like. It slows down the game when the handless dogs needed it to speed up, and now Sphinx on the other side makes it difficult. The chain lightning is perfect, and that was such a missed opportunity for the dogs.
Yeah, it feels like that banish just entirely changed the tempo of that offensive play from the side of handless dogs, and that's not really what you want to see here when you're already down by that first set. So we'll see what they're able to do in the future, but oh, that's already very, very dangerous for the side of handless dogs, as Weston's going to lose both barriers there, and Mr. Flambeau, almost no health bar to his name. Not that it matters too much, it's really great pass from Sphinx to Flowers there is going to open up a second goal for the side of Groundhog Day. They are feeling very comfortable. They came into this match on a losing record against this team of handless dogs, and now they're looking super comfortable, might even be able to take this game nice and quick as Mr. Flambeau's taken off the map, and Nikki is at just about half health, getting constantly pummeled, it feels, by Flowers and Sphinx on that offensive side.
Yeah, and it feels like the handless dogs just aren't very comfortable on Night Market as a map. I think they rely on getting a lot of control through the center, trying to float the court to Nikki. And we kind of saw this yesterday as well, with some of the teams feeling less comfortable on Night Market. I think we saw it most notably from the Flying Blobos, but Mr. Flambeau with the follow-up after the banish. This time the banish gets a ton of value here, and the handless dogs aren't out of this set just yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that banish is either it giveth and it taketh, and in that point it certainly gave. As I mean, they were able to score a nice goal, get themselves back in the game. Nikki does have that flip available, might be in a bit of a dangerous position though, having to, ends up burning that flip in order to maybe get some damage onto Sphinx. Unfortunately though, I mean, that Juno has a lot of survivability, and now if you're handless dogs, that is all the cooldowns from Nikki Manolan wasted, and you don't have too many opportunities for pressure here though. They are going to pick up that first barrier, so could be pretty big for them if they're just able to keep this pressure running, maybe get that flip out of Jewish Asian, but ultimately they're slowly getting their way back into this game, and that's exactly what they need.
Yep. Weston now to the top side, looking for an opportunity as Mr. Flambeau and Nikki approach, but Jewish Asian works the court around, and Mr. Flambeau taking a ton of chip damage here from the Juno. Now the threat of KO is rapidly approaching this rune as Flowers finds a great pass from Sphinx. The rebounds coming in right to the slime, and Groundhog Day are looking so coordinated today.
I mean, that was a crazy awareness play from Flowers coming out and just catching that Blobbo, just ready to send that core into nice and floaty into that net. And now, I mean, this is 2-0 on the side of Groundhog Day. They're looking many shades different from how that first set looked, as they lost 2 points in that first set. They only lost 1. This could be a 3-0 that we're looking at here, but in the meantime, Flowers is going to pick up that team player, looking very, very powerful here, because, we saw many of those back passes from Flowers coming out, and with the double midfield and the Mako in the back line, you have so many opportunities to just send that core going flying around to everyone, it feels. Also, though, we are going to see Weston pick up some of those stacks on stacks. To top off that size, you're also going to get a bit more speed onto that Dubu, assuming Weston's able to get some damage on that core, but ultimately Flowers pretty comfortable here. Trust in Sphinx and Jewish Asian to keep it away, and might just be dumping damage into Weston, it feels, as those cooldowns are constantly being used to put some damage onto the other team and maybe get some pressure going.
Flowers to the top side. Once again, using the slimes very comfortably here. The synergy with Sphinx is quite interesting, but finding follow-up there as well as Nikki Minowan taking low. Flowers trying to get a self-pass off the center. They're going a little crazy with some of these core interactions as Sphinx credited with that goal. Groundhog Day are looking so dominant on this Night Market pick.
Yeah, this was, I believe, their map draft, and they also were given the blue side by handless dogs. I think, let's see, I'm pretty sure they picked up that Vice as the first pick, which has been coming up in, oh no, they picked the Juno, yeah, that makes sense. Juno for Sphinx as that first pick, comfort over comfort. And they've just been kind of going crazy. Doesn't matter if they're two traditional midfielders, as Flowers are going to take out Mr. Flambeau, and it's a power play, and I mean, this is super scary if you're handless dogs. Weston has to use that flip and is going to get pummeled by Flowers. It's a scary spot to be in. Weston now looking low. Flowers going to be able to grab that orb and stay alive for the time being, but that Dubu, you know, only has so much health.
Yeah, Weston on the timer here. Oh, evades the cage, but can't evade the goal going in, unfortunately, here. One more goal left.
Yeah, only one more, and Groundhog Day are able to tie up this kind of, not even tie it up. They're just gonna be able to take game one. But I mean, you're not gonna lose the game until that you see that end screen. So we'll see what Handless Dogs have kind of come up with to get something going here. Weston though gonna lose both barriers, doesn't have any energy either. Very scary spot here, and gets taken out. Flowers is going to solidify that just right past the banish.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick game from Groundhog Day, right? I believe Night Market being their map pick, they're right to be confident in it with this result, and it was not close this first game.
Yeah, I mean it went 2 points, then 1 point, then 0 points from the side of Handless Dogs, and I think the side of Groundhog Day just only picked up that steam, picked up the pace as the game went on. So super powerful just off the bat, offensive kind of setup from the side of Groundhog Day. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen here in the game too, but I mean, really, really good first game.
Yep, really good. Like that was dominant. And Handless Dogs, I think, one of the teams that people were confident in predicting would go far in this playoffs. Groundhog Day, though, coming in as a 5th seed, I don't think a lot of people were believing as hard in them, and that was just one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, I would also like to take note. I'm pretty sure Seed 5 and Seed 6 always end up popping off in the bracket. Let's see. I believe yesterday we saw, I think Flying Blobos it was, as the sixth seed pulling up and all of a sudden getting into the top 3, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so looks like Flying Blabo 6th seed beat Oncoming Traffic, the 2nd seed, Heavy Metal Gun to the 5th seed, and I mean now they're sitting in that losers finals. So that 5th seed, 6th seed curse is kind of coming up to haunt this side of Handless Dogs. But we'll see what happens here in game number 2.
Yeah, we're going to go to a very, very short break and investigate what happened when the stream disconnected for a sec, and we'll be right back in a sec, so don't go anywhere. All right, everyone. We disconnected earlier, but hopefully you missed very, very little of the actual game because we came right back within a few seconds. We're still here. We're still watching Groundhog Day versus the Handless Dogs. It's been pretty good for Groundhog Day so far. With that first game victory, it was pretty dominant, but we're going on to the second map, which is, of course, the pick of the Handless Dogs, and we're on Oni Village here. And Potat, it is looking like a lot more of something similar for Groundhog Day, but I think the map will make it quite different.
Yeah, I mean they we're on that Oni Village map, which is not quite as much of a KO map, as the previous one in Night Market. But at the same time, Groundhog Day doesn't care. They picked up that Juno again, as well as this time a Luna in that quote unquote midfield onto Flowers, and then Mako, Jewish Asian, is going to be picking that up once again. We also see, a more typical Oni Village comp coming out from Handless Dogs here in which is that Estelle, that Rasmus in the forward, I can only imagine, and then Weston on that debut once again. So we'll see how this all kind of plays out. Oni Village, not really as much of KO map, so we'll see what the plan is here for Groundhog Day in this match.
Yeah, I think the more important thing than KO or not KO for Handless Dogs is that I think they thrive on open maps compared to closed ones. And Oni Village is, of course, a notoriously open map. They'll be able to drift the core through a lot more clear angles and get to Nikki Minowan a lot more reliably than on Night Market.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're able to maybe get some of those passes going, I think they'll be looking very, very strong here. But off the bat, Oni Village, typical one barrier down for each of these teams so far. But I mean, we've seen the core is on the side right now of Handless Dogs, and Flowers and Sphinx are going to do pretty much the same thing. It feels like they did in the last one. Flowers is going to get those very devious back passes that we saw in that last game as well. And then I think Sphinx and just Flowers are going to be passing around, trying to force Weston into a bad spot like we saw just there. And I mean, now barrier is down for Handless Dogs.
Barrier being down, maybe in a little bit of a tough spot, but the offense continues regardless. But you mentioned the damage, and right now Nikki Minowan feeling the hurt a little bit as Sphinx and Flowers are both committed to the DPS at the moment. Flowers in a very scary spot there. Could have gotten the goal if the positioning was a little bit closer. And there's the slime from Sphinx. There's the rocket from Flowers. The double range of the Groundhog Day once again putting on the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, just this offensive pressure from Groundhog Day, as mentioned earlier, is just so strong here. Flowers has played in multiple different playoffs games already this season between Groundhog Day and EKC. I don't know. But at the same time, Flowers has a lot of that experience and in that highest elo of play. And so, I mean, Flowers knows a lot of what needs to go on and is showing that, with those passes, with that pressure, and almost taking out Nikki with a stray little whammy.
Yeah, and speaking more on that, right? Flowers, although unsuccessful in that EKC series in the regular season, proved to just be able to hold her own. The only department where she noticeably struggled was getting KO'd. And good for her, right? This comp coming out from Handless Dogs and the team as a whole, they're not the biggest KOers. So Flowers effectively has no weaknesses in this nasty series.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, a big weakness, though, is going to be that piercing shot, as Mr. Flambeau is going to be able to line that up and just shoot it through. I think Sphinx and Jewish Asian there getting that first goal for the side of Handless Dogs. We're seeing shades of that last game, too, here with that 1-1 on the goals, but at the same time, that one goal is simply one of 9 that you might need to get here in the game. So we'll see what happens here, though. First barrier going down for each team, and I mean, Sphinx with that jump is not going to be able to get it quite yet, but there's a lot of Blavos down there, as well as a Flowers that is looking very, very, I guess, angry? I don't know.
Oh. All right, Weston looking to try and get around the slimes. It's working so far. But overall, it's still looking pretty dangerous here as Mr. Flambeau trying to navigate the court around Flowers and Sphinx. It's so difficult, though, especially with Jewish Asian getting in the mix and Flowers with the follow-up. These barriers not going to fall easily. It's a double melee goalie game after all, but And once again, you got to be careful when these ranged characters, all four of them technically, have so many ways to just snipe the core. Right now, Nikki going in, has the flip available, and does cash out with the barrier. A lot of damage on the Sphinx and Jewish Asian. And with that open net, the Maka's going to have a lot of trouble. Flowers with the flip available. Sphinx trying to get in there, but not quite enough here. And Jewish Asian continuing to make the saves. But again, Weston not going to let this barrier drop in the near future.
Weston is going to let Mr. Flambeau drop, though. Not really, not much of a choice there, as Flowers is going to be able to use that dash punch of Luna to just get Mr. Flambeau up into the ceiling. Knocking him out of those, Flambeau is going to be back online. Now, Nikki able to get that orb just before getting taken out as well. But, I mean, there's a lot of overcommit so far that I'm seeing from the side of Groundhog Day that we didn't really see in the last one, because it's a lot harder to fly into the other team's goal net with the Vice, but with that Luna, you know, you don't have much control after you let that boost fly. So, I mean, I think it's a bit of adaptation that's needed from that Juno and that Luna, but Mr. Flambeau, in the meantime, is going to be able to use that Rose Warp, just come right on in and get a nice goal past Jewish Asian.
Yep, that's another instance where it's that starting awakening super surge effect, right? You don't expect that much range from either the Juno or the Estelle so early on into the game, but that is the case here. Both goalies having a bit of a tough time dealing with it so far, but I think Weston has adjusted, notably Jewish Asian missing a strike but unpunished, and right now, as long as they don't randomly die, I think Handless Dogs, they have control of the pace.
Yeah, a lot of the reason that the side of Groundhog Day were able to get so much pressure in that last game was because Flowers and Sphinx just had so much kill pressure and were constantly taking the other players off the field, it felt like. But here, I mean, we've only seen, I think, the one or maybe two kills so far from the side of Groundhog Day, and that was just the lineup on that Luna Dash Punch earlier, but ultimately not enough kill pressure, not enough damage getting taken onto the side of Handless Dogs, and so it feels like Groundhog Day just aren't able to find their footing quite yet.
Mr. Flambeau into the corner, gets it fast enough to KO Jewish Asian, who does make the save in death. Flowers now trying to make a miracle happen. The Slime core speed coming in as well, but it's a little too difficult in this first set as Nikki Middleton cashes out, finds the goal without even using the flip, and it's going to be a big set win for the Handless Dogs. Weston getting the first pick, and you know, going to be happy about that on Oni Village, because you need your melee goalie to lock it down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are a lot of options here that are available for Weston here. He is going to end up opting for that hotshot, you know, has to block away that Juno Sphinx from getting, you know, the best awakening for the character pretty much. We are also going to see Nikki pick up that team player. Is going to be pretty big. I think maybe even a bit of a deny from the side of Groundhog Day 2, just, you know, to stop some of those passing plays that we've seen in the past. Also, though, I think another big awakening here is going to be the aerials on the Jewish Asian. That secondary is going to be pretty strong now, and I think Nikki is going to have to start wasting some of those cooldowns just in order to keep that core, keep that secondary away from the side of Groundhog Day, and just, you know, get rid of some of that speed and that size that is allotted to that Luna and the Juno. But we shall see here, for both barriers down now for Handless Dogs.
Let's see, Jewish Asian trying to get out of the corner, sacrifices a barrier in the process, but Flowers drifted up towards the top side. The follow-up from Jewish Asian is perfect with the primary, and those are the kinds of plays that they need to get back in the game. Groundhog Day nowhere near out of it just yet.
Yeah, Groundhog Day picking up their first one. Only 8 more to go now after that first set. And, I mean, Flowers just has so much speed from that aerials onto that secondary from Mako. Going to be able to open up both barriers now for the side of Handless Dog. Shades at the last point as Mr. Flambeau going to keep it away for now, but Weston and Flambeau with no evade to either of them. So we'll see what happens here.
We'll see. Mr. Flambeau to the top side. Nikki Middleton trying to get it around, and one barrier taken so far, but this open net again is such a dangerous spot to be if you're on Oni Village as the melee goalie team, which both these teams are, and Flowers to the bottom side. And these goals just keep happening. No real fault of Weston's in the moment, but once you're in that situation, you're at such a big disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, once you lose both those barriers, as both that Mako and that Dubu, from Jewish Asian or Weston, like, you're not nearly as mobile in that open net, and all of a sudden you're stuck with that open net, and only taking up a quarter of that goal at some point just leaves so many opportunities for the other team. But at the same time, Nikki going to use that flip, not quite going to be able to get anything past that first barrier. And I mean, the side of Groundhog Day has 2 flips available almost. So we'll see what they're able to get going here. Is not quite any goals open yet.
Flowers with a flip available, gets the barrier and still has the flip to cash out here. Just waits patiently. Top corner, not going to get it this time, but a valiant attempt. Well played. And now Mr. Flambeau on that store. Mr. Flambeau has so much evade meter and gets chunked regardless, and Flowers threads the needle through both of them. And that's a very Groundhog Day-esque goal to cap off a big set for Groundhog Day with Flowers' first pick.
Yeah, I mean, that full point just felt so explosive from the side of Groundhog Day. Pun fully intended in terms of Flowers, but ultimately that damage, that pressure, just, it felt like it kind of came to a standstill with that just super fast pass from Sphinx up to Flowers on the Luna, and then all of a sudden the core just stopped moving, it felt like, and drifted right into the goal of Handless Dogs. But in the meantime, in terms of Awakenings, we're going to see a lot of big pickups here. Flowers on the Luna picking up that spark of strength to complement the leadership that she got in that previous draft. As well, we're going to see Nikki pick up that extra special. You got those extra hooks, going to have more opportunities to nab the core away from the forwards on the other team, or the goalie on the other team, for the matter of fact. And, you know, also that's heavy impact is going to be very nice for Mr. Flambeau. Not quite going to come into use yet, though, as we're going to see that Rasmus Nikki taken out for the time being.
Ooh, and another great passing play to the bottom side. Yeah, capitalizing on that power play before the respawn comes in. It's a lead for Groundhog Day now on a map where I feel like they have no business getting this kind of advantage, right? Flowers, in particular, should be completely out of her element on Oni Village, but they are synergizing so well that it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it feels like the little rocket gremlin, which is honestly what I picture Flowers as, even after meeting her in NYC for the LAN, is just like running up, strike warring Weston in so many different opportunities, and just scoring a lot of these goals. You know, that boost going to be coming out into play, going to open up the barrier, not thanks to the strike from Flowers and the blobos from Sphinx, but open net once again for Handless Dogs. It feels like I'm saying that more and more now as this game truly gets going, and it's a very scary spot to be in if you are Handless Dogs as that core goes in.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. Really just non-greedy offensive play from Flowers, right? Hitting it up to the slime so often, finding a place to set up where the teammates can follow up. It's just working perfectly here, especially against the melee goalie, and we're seeing the effects now. A ton of damage, the evade's burned, and of course, you don't even need to focus on continuing to damage it for Groundhog Day. But, you know, it's Flowers getting the KO, creating another power play. It's just constant here, and Sphinx is playing around it so well.
Yeah, I think that statement of "it's Flowers" is working very effectively for this entire set, as that Luna's going to come in, use the boost, unfortunately hit it back to her own teammates. But that flip is still available for Flowers. It's going to be up pretty soon here for Sphinx, so Weston pretty much in the 1v2, going to be able to keep it up for now with the Summer Assault, but Flowers going to provide a bit of pressure. No more flip though, little scary. Weston, really great evade strike, is going to be able to keep it out for now, and it feels like the momentum is shifting just a little bit. Flip wasted from Sphinx in order to get it through that offensive line of Handless Dogs, and now it's Nikki and Mr. Flambeau just trying to do something. Weston, though, loses that barrier, and Flowers just running in with that Luna.
Oh, a rocket to the top side, mixing up the timing, almost getting it through for Groundhog Day. Nikki Minolan trying to get the pendulum swing, but it's too fast. The core accelerating as we speak. Sphinx to the bottom side, Mr. Flambeau there to catch it as Flowers boosts in, fended away by the Crystal Thorns for now, but Sphinx has plenty of cooldowns at this point. Doesn't even choose to use any of them, just strike wars it right through Nikki Minolan, and Groundhog Day are starting to just pick up momentum as this game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, their name is working out very, very well, as it feels like it's just the 3-0s and the points are just happening over and over and over again. It feels like just right off the bat of every single point, we're seeing Flowers and Sphinx open up that net on this side of Handless Dogs, and it's just kind of wraps there, as Handless Dogs might take 1 or 2 barriers, but ultimately Flowers and Sphinx have just been able to get this core into the net, as Flowers is going to pick up that Deadeye. Spark of Agility blocked away. No 3 sparks for Flowers, but I mean, Deadeye is such rewarding awakening to receive anyways. That twin drive also going to be picked up for Sphinx. Nice and useful awakening there. That Juno's going to be able to jump all up and about that field. So we'll see how this comes into play. You know, also we're going to see Nikki pick up a bit more size with that demolition. It's going to be pretty useful, but I mean, Weston and Mr. Flambeau getting relatively inessential awakenings here onto their picks. With that Herb Rep and Spark of Agility might be a little dangerous for the side of Handless Dogs, as now, I mean, it's the side of Groundhog looking super comfortable, and Flowers takes out Mr. Flambeau from the field.
Yeah, and I feel like the Handless Dogs are watching this game kind of get out of their hands a little bit, or non-existent hands, maybe, as now, unfortunately, the barriers are opened up for them. Nikki Minolan trying to get some value out of this energy here, but Weston faced with such difficult defense over and over again. Mr. Flambeau trying to help out on offense, but when Mr. Flambeau goes to help out on offense, the defense immediately turns around. Flowers rushing forward, and that kind of fast rotation is why Groundhog Day are succeeding right now.
Yeah, the boost just, you know, giving the core a little boost as it goes just flying into the net before that Tofu Fortress has time to land onto solid ground. And now we're looking at Groundhog Day up 1-0 in this set and only 2 points away from taking the game, whereas they were down by a full set previously in this game. Now, though, Flower is going to open up the first barrier, and Nikki and Weston do have those flips available, but we'll see how they're used, as Weston going to be able to save that flip for the time being and get the core out for now.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is Jewish Asian hasn't really felt like a factor in this game, right? And that's a huge thing for Groundhog Day. The fact that they're keeping the core up so often, that Jewish Asian is clearing so efficiently around the forwards of Handless Dogs and not really having to make that many touches on the core.
Yeah, Jewish Asian just doesn't really have to do much. Is able to sit back and press that secondary as, you know, Flowers and Sphinx are just providing so much pressure.
Oh!
No flips though available for the side of Groundhog Day. 2 up on Handless Dogs. This is where they need to make their energy count. But oh no, Nikki Minolan going to be able to send that back. And oh my gosh, super unfortunate angle coming out from that Rasmus. That's going to be 2 flips gone from the side of Handless Dogs. And it's 1 point away from Groundhog taking this whole thing.
Yeah, playoff lives on the line for the Handless Dogs. They would have hoped to be in the situation a bit later on in the playoffs and not the first round of the losers bracket, as the Ensnare Drums denies even a single barrier take. Nikki trying to find some kind of opening, but the only thing that she can do right now is deny Jewish Asian secondary. Sphinx gets past everyone, doesn't get the barrier this time, but Flowers and Sphinx are playing so methodically, so slowly, and waiting to try and get that top barrier here. Mr. Flambeau flip available, but taken so incredibly low. Punished for greeting that energy, it feels like, in Jewish Asian just not getting scored on. Every single strike from Jewish Asian feels perfect at the moment as Flowers gets it past Weston just like that. Nikki to the bottom side looking for the barrier take, but it's a Flowers in a 1v1, an open net, and that's going to be curtains here. Groundhog Day are the ones who are going to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of speechless after that one. It looked... I mean, Handless Dogs were able to win that first set 3-1, and now all of a sudden Groundhog Day, it just wins. I mean, it's kind of crazy. They took that second set, took that third set, or took that fourth set, and all of a sudden game's over. It feels crazy. Sphinx taking that MVP. Flowers, though, with 7 goals and 4 kills onto the side of Handless Dogs. Pretty crazy game there. It felt like it was kind of in the hands of Handless Dogs, but then... You know, it was a cartoon moment where Handless Dogs realized that they didn't have any hands to hold the game in, and all of a sudden the game fell out of their hands. And I mean, Groundhog Day were able to take that series 2-0, 18-1 now for those keeping track.
Yeah, Flowers, of course, the highlight player, but Sphinx, I think, the overall MVP here. Look at that redirect gap. Look at how fewer Jewish Asian had to save, really. That was not grammatically correct, but like, oh well, you know. But yeah, Jewish Asian just didn't have to do nearly as much. That was difficult, and that kind of enabling creative by Sphinx, setting up situations for Flowers as well. Just an incredible performance and showing why that Juno has to be a big concern.
Yeah, I mean, the Juno is just so powerful. It's their first pickup for a reason there in those drafts that we saw. You know, that Juno, the what the Imi was banned away from Groundhog Day, probably just a Flowers pick that they didn't want to see. And I mean, that Juno and that Luna just, it feels like Flowers really can't be banned out. And at some point, Sphinx, is so known for that Juno pickup that I think that might have been the play there, because all of a sudden you're going to have Flowers that is running around doing her shenanigans, but you don't have that Sphinx on the ground on the backside, just able to hold that core down and get the game into a winnable spot. So I don't know, maybe it was a bit of a misdraft off the bans, but either way, good game there. And I mean, we're gonna see Groundhog Day. They took it too well.
Yeah, and next up's going to be Chikara Eclipse versus Weaselittle Furt. So whether you're a fan of ECL or Furt, wow, but both these acronyms are quite interesting. Compared to GOG and DOG, like there's a lot less energy versus a kill and Furt, But anyway, we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Oh, wait, Bread's your genius. Furt Night. That's the matchup. It's Furt Night. Anyway, goodbye.
What's up, my grizzly glizzy gamers? We're here with a Fortnite matchup. I did intro like that. We're here with a Fortnite matchup here. We've got Chikara Eclipse versus Furret. Seraphim, or are they Seraphim still? I don't know, but I know it's Shiny Furret. And we're kind of we're deep into playoff season. I think every team here has kind of gotten a hint of what's to come. We had a pretty exciting amount of NASA matches yesterday, and after kind of the previous series, that was a 2-0, pretty solid performance from Groundhog Day. I'm looking to see some more exciting plays here.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this matchup here on the at lab, and yeah, I think this match will be decided on whether or not the Brawlers can get it done. Because I feel like the aces of each team, Ferret and Jakar Eclipse, is Overgrown Lemon 5 and Zanseki.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they do here.
I 100% agree with that. I think that Ripstick and Angle Senpai, similar to Scandals and Cragley, play very supportive roles. And I think that if it comes down to a mechanical battle, I think that Overgrown Lemon 5 does have the advantage here. I think that I've seen him create so many stellar plays. He's robbed so many points off of the opposing team that I can't not believe in him a little bit here. On the flip side, though, Zanseki, I think he's very cool collected. He's a veteran. He's been around the block. I'm not sure if he's the IGL, but I believe he's the IGL of the team. And I think that he could do a lot of really smart plays. And I think that Ripstick as well, even though he's a veteran himself, I still think that Zanseki could potentially get under his skin and find a lot of ways to take advantage of that. So I'm excited to see here. And before we go in the game, it is Weasel Furrets. How could I forget the North American Strikers League branding on this team? We'll see, though, if Overgrown Lemon can live up to that legacy.
Starting on here on the at lab.
Okay.
Overgrown Lemon 5 found dead on the Atlas lab. I was going to talk about the story. Oh my god, 2 of them are dead already. Prime time start. It was Cast Last was the other awakening. But, I mean, if Chikara Eclipse can just take these points like that, it's not gonna look good for these little Ferrets here.
I am never complimenting a player on Rip ever again, man. That was messed up. But we're going to game proper here. A bit of a hiccup here to start off for Seraphim Chinese Ferret. No doubt they're gonna bounce back though. But before they could do that though, Zanseki gonna be the first to draw blood here, and I'm gonna take a quick look at the awakenings here. 3 slit kicks. Full prime time start, and I think obviously the thing to be looking at is that prime time Asher. So many people do believe that this prime time Asher, or that Asher in general, just sucks. That she is just a bad pick. She is borderline unpickable, and I think that there is one exception to that, and that's if you are an experienced Asher goalie like Ripstick, and you're able to get it off of the primetime start. So primetime Asher, obviously she has one of the best defensive primaries in the game, and now she gets 2 of them. So that could be very, very powerful. I suspect that if Ripstick gets cooldown, he get a lot of work done defensively. He's doing a lot of work offensively there with a goal, but he could become a very, very hard to break wall if this game continues.
Hey, Chikara Eclipse did try to execute a game plan of shooting Overgrown Lemon 5, and since he is, firstly, I think he's the star player on that team. It seems really effective too, because Asher is kind of hard to get through her because all those cooldowns, but if you have like a power play, it makes it even easier to get through the wall that is Asher.
Yeah, you can pass around using the man advantage. That is something that similar to like Mako, right? Something that Asher very much struggles with, but as of right now, actually, Scandal is trying to be struggling a little bit here. Had to kind of walk away from the barrier because of the damage, but gonna be Angle Senpai and Zanseki now taking a lot of damage. Zanseki very low with no evade. This could be very dangerous. Barely stays alive for now, though. Overgrown Lemon hanging back, looking for potentially an opportunity here to take out Zanseki. This orb, no doubt. Some contention there. Yeah, there's Zanseki goes. Overgrown Lemon now gonna get flipped off of this orb, and it's going to be up to Scandals to make sure that that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, the black hole bounce, just not where you want it for Scandals. And Overgrown Lemon's going to be taking that goal.
Yeah, it was a good try from Scandals killing Angle Senpai on the black hole blow up. And I mean, Overgrown Lemon 5 here has no evade. And the goal for Chikara Eclipse is to put on damage, but oh my gosh, the now Craggley just gets instantly blown up as the midfielder, because now doesn't really have a lot of stagger, and you can just layer a couple abilities, and if she doesn't have any secondary or ult, she just blows up.
Yeah, and it could be a little bit scary here as well. I'm thinking of potential scalings to come through. I'm looking at things like Heavy Impact, Prize Fighter, 1-2 Punch, all of these just so destructive on the brawlers, and you've got a very fragile midfielder and goalie here for the side of Chikara Eclipse. Not to mention, like you mentioned, right, Asher potentially very vulnerable herself with how slow she could be, and I suspect this game can get very deadly, like we've seen. And down here in Nasty, I know that a lot of teams have issues dealing with that. We saw in the previous series, Flowers just kind of taking over off of her Luna pick, and maybe we'll see something similar here.
And there's no side flame on here, but a lot of damage is being tacked on as Overgrown Lemon 5 takes the MVP for Weasel Ferrets. And Ad Rush, Heavy Impact, Prize Fighter, all damage awakenings are here for this draft. And I really wonder what Overgrown Lemon 5 is going to take here.
Yeah, Heavy Impacts. Oof. There's a Prize Fighter bulk up as well. I'm actually kind of looking at this bulk up. Yeah, I think the Estelle picking it up. I'm such a personal believer of just stacking power on Estelle. I think that it's just so good where you have the 50 caliber primaries that can just randomly dash punch someone off with a single ability. Not to mention, right, the extended hit stun that could happen off of things. If you get, for example, something like Hot Shot to add with it, right, it makes your primary so capable at making sure that goalies they have to preemptively evade it or else they're just going to lose the point. I think that she uses power incredibly well, right, has one of the, I believe, one of the few midfielders that has a base 100 power as well. And with how much damage Overgrown Lemon's doing, getting that skill secure as well, it's just, I think this Estelle pick could potentially go incredibly crazy. But for now, Scandal's here with an amazing play. The card is able to actually steal one. Unfortunately, going to lose both barriers in the process here. Looking a little bit scary here defensively. Now Craggley's going to be walking up. Zonseki with all the cooldowns that he needs to get a clever pass, but it's not going to happen. Scandals now has to defend against the onslaught of Wee's Shiny Ferrets here. Going to actually do so very, very well. Triple take coming through to keep the core up, but unfortunately, Angle Senpai actually going to get dash punched. Zonseki finding the kill here. The Adrenaline Rush, which I failed to mention in the previous draft, now going to be fully procced. Overgrown Lemon, though, in a position that he's very familiar with now in overtime. A bit of a crazy back pass up to Ripstick. Very crazy clear here. But it does buy time. Unfortunately, it's just all for naught. The Now Mine clips the core before they get to Angle Senpai. That is a nice first goal here for Chikara Eclipse.
I mean, we saw in that draft, Juliet was last pick, and somehow Adrush fell down all the way down to her, and I found it pretty surprising because I know Nasty people don't really play for like damage as much as other teams. So many teams don't play damage when it's when it's a Nassel, NASA, or Nasty. They don't really like to play damage because damage is looked upon as not really fun. But it's just like, okay, so we're gonna set up this Juliet, and if we take Adrush, because the awakenings all there for that previous draft were all damage, and they didn't really prioritize stuff like Adrenaline Rush, and this might bite Weasel's Ferrets in the behind, in the later sets. If this Juliet gets unlocked, it might be a bit over for.
Yeah, and there's still things like the 1-2 punch, right? That could lead to some catastrophic plays. Spark of Strength could be gone. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what can the Juliet still pick up here? Still in draft outside of 1-2 punch. What is there left?
Size,
right?
Super Surge, Explosive. That's more the non-common Juliet awakenings that you want to pick for her, and it still could work. So yeah, she gets a kill, and now they have the speed, and now they can basically take over.
We're already seeing it here. The Dash Punch coming out, but not going to find value. Flip now for Angle Senpai, but it's going to go right into the unfortunately timed black hole. Overgrown Lemon coming back up. Ripstick barely able to keep that final goalie barrier alive. There we go, the Asher primary coming through, but the hit stun from Zonseki means that this is a potential thing. No, the big finish, just poorly timed here. Overgrown Lemon with a blick off the Oni's blade, but not going to find the goal here. Craggley now marching the core upfield, going to be taken low by the black hole. Angle Senpai with a piercing shot, not able to do it, and Overgrown Lemon finds the strike actually through it all. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and brawlers don't look at their midfields dying. Overgrown Lemon, first point.
A really good play from Weasel Shirts. And now I think these Overgrown Lemon is a known Juliet player, so I would expect them to know how to position against Juliet and not let her get value, because even the best Juliets know how to get value from her character, and if they're not finding dash punches, you just threaten the space of, okay, I want to stand on top of you, and if you make a single mistake, you get dash punched. And I feel like Overgrown Lemon 5 is not going to put themselves in a position like that, and it'll allow for Weasel First to play more on this style of just stuffing the core inside.
Yeah. We'll see as well. Overgrown Lemon gonna have to face with that Juliet pressure now again. Gonna have to limp away from this play, allowing Cragley to dribble up here. But unfortunately now, looking on the flip side, Seki just looking to take out Overgrown Lemon, just blowing cooldowns onto the poor lad. Fortunately, though, not going to find the KO, but a scoring opportunity is going to be here. Good pitching shot from Angle Senpai, though, delays that before Seki could build up too much pressure. Cragley now here with possession of the core. Ripstick, good clearing, actually. Finds the gap between the two forwards, but the flips has to come through. Oh, Overgrown Lemon, though, calls it out, but no, the Asher is too slow to catch the red core on the rebound, and another set, actually, or sorry, the first set goes to Chikara Eclipse here.
Scandals with MVP. Looking at a lot of speed, and this Deadeye for Finny, and I'm not sure what she takes here. She can take Deadeye, Sack on Sack. She does fall for the Deadeye, and Estelle will probably take Sacks here.
And we'll see. Yep, that mobility going to be incredibly useful. Feeding Overgrown Lemon the core is something that I think these little ferrets have absolutely just wanted to do all season. On the flip side, though, spark scaling coming through for Ripstick. That's going to be something to watch, especially now that we have a 1-1 set count. It's going to be very likely that Ripstick is going to grab that third spark to bolster whatever stat plus strength that he is going to get. Obviously, gets a little bit of the sharing as well, but that's just a little bit of a cherry on top rather than anything explosive. On the flip side, though, that Deadeye you mentioned obviously going to make Overgrown Lemon's life potentially very miserable, but if he stands on Scandals all the time like this, may not get a lot of value off of it. On the flip side here, Cragley barely able to stay alive, but Ripstick not able to use that prime time to keep the goalie gate open. Overgrown Lemon here trying to find a breakaway for himself, but nothing to be had here. Pass down to Angle Senpai goes a little bit wide. Oh, Cragley almost bounced into the perfect position to take the strike war, but right now it's going to be a slow march forward. A KO found now onto Cragley. Angle Senpai doesn't fall for the Ash Punch. Overgrown Lemon with the Blake mix-up timing finds the core, gets it into the net. Now it's going to be Weasel Furrets pulling it.
That was a great confirm on the goal for Overgrown Lemon 5, and I do want to talk about the extra special on top of this Zentaro. Heavy Impact. Primetime extra spec Zentaro is the kill confirm monster. You can just dump so many cooldowns, and this because the way they're playing, they're playing. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god! Yeah,
they're just layering abilities on each other, and the health bars are just disappearing. And Overgrown Lemon 5, all he needs to do is save 2 or 3 abilities, and he has so many cooldowns because of Primetime extra special that he can just confirm into a power play and allow the time to become really easy as they apply the pressure and slide the core on the bottom side, taking that second point.
Yeah, brutal triangle formed we saw there. Ripstick moving up with the momentum boots here. By the way, one of the few holdouts of momentum boots, Asher, really likes the pick, really goes for it, still thinks it's very good. Even in a meta where a lot of people think Asher herself is just bad, let alone Asher off of things like Strike Shot or the Pauldrons. So very, very awesome pick to see here in NAST. Good to see some kind of a very diverse, very honestly one of the very signature pick. I don't think any other player in the NS really does this. So that's cool to see. I'm very curious to see aggressive goalie Asher come out here, and as of right now, we might get to see more of it because right now, Angle Senpai, an opportunity on the goal, but immediately going to be punished for that, going to be blasted away.
Angle Senpai allows to easily just walk away because with Now and Julie, you can't really threaten damage onto them, and even with Vinny could throw out a card, but it's not really helping out. Oh my gosh, Ripstick almost just died to the dash punch, but it's okay. They live, and Ripstick has the ball, giving all the momentum to Overgrown Lemon 5 to make these plays, and the bear falls. Angle Senpai takes it, and now Overgrown Lemon 5 takes the blick shot, Good flip, and the core stop kills
Oh.
Scandals, but oh my gosh, Overgrown is dead, and Rifka is just stalling right now. It's correct play here. And they played fast, they dribbled, and they caught Cragley lacking. And they shoot it to the top side, taking the set.
Yeah, that's an ego check right there. Riftstick gotta be feeling really good after that one. Overgrown Lemon accredited with the MVP, but that's just icing on the cake. Looking at the Awakenings here, this is almost a guaranteed third spark, and if it's taken by Zonseki, I think that Asher just wants the hot shot anyways, no?
Yeah, just more cooldowns. I mean, they did not spark here, and now Asher gets hot shot with prime time hot shot. So all she needs to do is just primary something, and then her primary is basically back in like 5 seconds. So it's gonna be really hard to take down. They have to, the side of Chicago Eclipse have to maneuver their way through this comp a bit.
Yeah, and on the flip side, I didn't talk about it, but the Dash Awakening here for Overgrown Lemon, right? This is a lot of damage, right? 25% damage boost for the Zentaro. All of his abilities are impacts. Not to mention the Dash Awakening in and of itself. This is a very unleashed Zentaro here, a very unleashed Asher, and an Estelle with double stagger prime time stacks on stacks. I think very happy no matter what character you are with that build. It really feels like Seraphim, God. Wee's little ferrets have the ability to awakening this game out of control, essentially.
That's the sad thing is, going back to the first round, Juliet lost all her good awakenings, and now she's really feeling the pain of just getting mediocre awakenings after the other, and they haven't really finding much dash punches because they're just trying to look to do stuff like sitting on someone instead of like threatening like the dash punch or making the other people's lives harder. Like this is perfectly fine, just standing on someone and making them not be in the play.
Yeah, you are doing that. Brawler is indeed getting it done. We're gonna go in overtime now, but ironically, it's going to be Juliet of all people staggered. Does proc that Adrenaline Rush though in the end off the back of her Scandal's damage. That means this is an opportunity. The dash comes through. Final Goalie Berry gonna get out, and the back pass goes a little wide, but doesn't matter in the end. Zonseki with a good strike war win takes the first point of the set here.
I think Lipstick got a bit caught off guard through that red core because team player and Glass Cannon, there's no like blue streak of the core, so they didn't expect the core to go that fast, and they just lost an unfortunate strike war.
Yeah, and quick KO. Actually, I didn't even notice it. I was looking at Ripstick defending the net. On the flip side, Crowder's gonna get fridged here. The hot shot speed, sending it up to Overgrown Lemon, blows the Flame Flurry here defensively, but now power play is going to be over with not too much to show for it. The dash from Zonseki going to be used a little bit early here just to move the core forward, but unfortunately to no avail here. Oh, but Scandals gives Ripstick a taste of his own medicine there. Now opening the net here for Chikara Eclipse. Engel Senpai now looking to dribble, but Zonseki stays cool and collected, is almost able to get that dash punch through. Overgrown Lemon now a chance to shine here, trying to get this goal. The strike ward's not going to be won though against the midfielder of Chikara Eclipse. Oh, a little bit of an unfortunate ankle here for Engel Senpai. It's now Ripstick an opportunity, almost loses it to the Dorito, but at least gives Overgrown Lemon one more opportunity. The dash punch is there now as we come into overtime. Staggered for Overgrown Lemon. Cragley with the strike war win now. Ripstick has to blow his flip in this situation. Overtime's coming through. Cragley not able to get the core. This is a breakaway for Overgrown Lemon, but the angle is just not right. The piercing shot comes through. No!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god! Overgrown Lemon saves it in such a dramatic fashion. Engel Senpai now tasked with a goal, and that he does. And I'm gonna say that was a little bit more dramatic than it needed to be, but W Overgrown Lemon 5 for that one.
That was a crazy brain destroyer for Scott. It's so off guard that Engel Senpai just gets the ball for free and just scores it, and now it's 1-1 here, and a lot of like damage is being pressured here, but not like KOs as the double barrier falls, and we're just looking here. They need to find. Oh,
no.
my gosh!
Oh no!
They need to find a way to like settle in and not get blown by the momentum, and that's basically what Chicago Eclipse needed there. Just an easy goal mishap, and now they'll take over here.
Yeah, and that's one downside of this momentum boost Asher. You want to walk up, you want to play aggressive, but Asher's slow. You could still, even with the boost from momentum boost, there are still situations like that where you could be caught with your pants down, and you just lose very quickly. We saw a lot of that actually Yesterday, Flying Blobos, it felt like, was able to take advantage of a lot of the walk-ups that an Aragol was having against Heavy Metal Gundam, and because of that, they were able to find a lot of goals and opportunities they otherwise would not have. So it's going to be up to Ripstick to not allow that to happen again. But in the meantime, Angle Senpai over on Lemon actually winning the 2v2 strike war, and that's going to be a nice goal here. It's going to put them on game point.
I'm pretty sure Craggle and Scandal struck at the same time, so they didn't layer. And unfortunately, Scandal saw the strike cooldown, so they couldn't save the ball. In that unfortunate scenario. It's looking really good for Weasel first. They have almost triple flip here. A lot of momentum going for Overgrown Lemon 5. He wants to take over this game as the brawler, as the ace of this team. And if he finds a good flip here with the layer, Cragley's almost dead, but the lifeline comes out, but the flip, Angle Senpai will put Cragley into the hole, into the death zone, and it's a power play. Oh my gosh, unfortunate reversal. It's looking good for Weasel first, and they just play slow here, and they'll eventually just win the war of attrition. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Tanseki with a snipe away dash punch, but gonna be dash punched himself. Ripstick now matching the momentum. It's gonna be a 2v2 situation here for another second. But Angle Senpai's back up the Estelle here with long-range scoring support can happen against the Finny. The triple take is such an unfortunate timing, which means that now it's going to be an open net here for the side of Jakara. Eclipse, the dash punch does not ring true. Overgrown Lemon remains alive. He needs to hit the core. There's not going to be any cooldowns here to actually defend if it gets to him, but it doesn't for now. The triple take prevents that anything from happening. Zanseki here with possession of the core. Oh, and the strike comes through. Angle Senpai not ready for it, unfortunately. Zanseki just nabs away that set, and we're going to a set number 5 here.
That was a crazy situation there. All the momentum was shifting left and right, and now Juliet has they have 1-2 here, and if Angle Senpai doesn't deny it, it's looking really dangerous for Weasel First.
Yeah, but on the flip side, right, if since now that Cragley hasn't picked up the spark, this is a 3 spark. Yeah, that Zanseki has to deny here. That means that's passing up on the 1-2 punch, which inevitably was denied for him. But now I think that makes the big ticket awakening here, the twin drive on this dash range Centauro. Overgrown Lemon already had the prime time now, but he's got 5 abilities to use here coming into set number 5. You know, 5 sets, 5 abilities. And that's a lot of damage and everything else.
Yeah, I think Cragley should actually switch their game plan instead of like a core control as to just dump as many cooldowns into Overgrown 5, because they have Stinger and they have Prime Time and they have Manu Super Surge. So they're gonna do so much overall take damage, and you just leave the Juliet, the kill confirm with Dash Punch or ult, and it'll become an instant free power play, as Overgrown 5 is literally staggered right now, and they're pretty much out of the play right now.
Angle Senpai going to be looking to take the goal himself in lieu of his brawler, but just not going to be able to. Doesn't have the resources. Overgrown Lemon, though.
Oh, he got the strike. The strike, and he got the kill with the slice and dice. Overgrown 5 taking over this game right now.
Yeah, Overgrown Lemon. That's got to be a powerful statement. Hey, his name is Overgrown Lemon. You got to feel sour after he does something like that to you. Overgrown Lemon, though. Oh, does it again! Watch the Scandal. He's taking over. Overgrown Lemon 5 might be looking to get a 5-0 here for his team. The flip comes through, doesn't find the KO, but it's going to be enough for Angle Senpai to clear the way. 2 quick points. Overgrown Lemon all of a sudden just locks in, takes over the game, and this is the shining star of Weasel, you know, of every iteration of Furret. Never has there been a better brawler than Overgrown Lemon 5, and he is going to march his team to victory right now. But Zanseki, the other brawler to watch this series, has something to say about that. 1 KO found, and maybe a goalie barrier to follow. Flip, just waiting for the right opportunity. The Sad Boys angles comes through, but it's a double barrier. No, Zanseki is going to use his flip defensively there, but that means that nothing's going to happen here on this offensive play. Ripstick is bunkered up. All of his cooldowns are going to be here, and it's just all too comfortable. On the flip side, Scandals with a well-timed card, unfortunately just not enough. This could potentially be it for game number 1. The angle rings true here. Overgrown Lemon tries to get nasty with it, but doesn't quite find it. Cragley able to get his hands on the core. Zanseki, no, a misstrike's not going to be enough. The flip has to come through from Scandals, but it's just too late. Overgrown Lemon finds the Oni's Blade at just the right time. One small misplay leads to another, and game 1 is going to go into the hands of Weasel Ferns.
Set 5, Overgrown Lemon 5 unblocks the set 5 potential. Wait, Overgrown Lemon 5, set 5, it's basically in the name. They lie dormant in the mountaintop. They lie in the rain. They lie in the waterfall. And then set 5, they unlock the true Oni's Blade potential and takes over that game there.
Yeah, absolutely. 7+1 performance, 50k damage in the bank for Overgrown Lemon. Absolutely masterclass here. So Overgrown Lemon, I think, is just the extra citrus you add to your dish after you cook it. I think Overgrown Lemon has cooked magnificently here in set number 5. Of course, Angle Senpai and Ripstick, I think Ripstick in particular played pretty well. Obviously was very enabled with that Asher build to do so, but especially in those early sets, we actually saw him contribute a lot to the aggression, right? A 2+1 performance, very unusual for a goalie, I think. It's particularly a melee goalie, right? So I think hats off to Ripstick, a bit of a sleeper carry in those earlier sets that bought Overgrown Lemon the time to kind of lock in and carry through that game. So well played to Wee's Little Furrets here. Chikara Eclipse, though, potential adaptations that they might be able to make. What are you thinking, Big Tilt?
Well, next map is Chikara Eclipse's pick, and it was Demon Dios. So I would like for them to lean a bit into damage, because the damage is a pretty good win condition, and even if they're uncomfortable, they can still play their slicks, their mags, their vicious vampires, but they maybe should focus a bit on targeting someone so they don't get to take over the game and put a little bit more pressure on the player.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to be looking, to maybe turn a certain fruit on the enemy team, a certain citrus, a certain, I don't know, citrusy person on the other team into a juice, I think, here on Demon Dies. And we'll see if that can actually happen, though, as I'm going to bring up the striker selector for this game here. Let me get that going, courtesy of Patat. Oh, guys, all right. I know I talked it to death yesterday and the curse was broken. Let's be clear, Patat, you still don't want to lose game 1 when Patat is your ref. As right now, let's take a look at the awakenings here. They're going to be booted up. It is going to be Might of the Colossus Missile Propulsion, a very KO conducive awakening thing here, awakening combination here. I could see a lot happening, and I think things like the Juliet is probably going to be the big pick. I think both Sunseki and Overgrown Lemon is their signature characters, and it's probably going to be a blue side 1 here, if I were to guess.
Missile Pop, like, these two awakenings, Mighty Colossus Missile Pop, allow for a lot of flexible picks. Like, Missile Pop allows for, like, Jakar, Luna, Vice, Aimi, very damage heavy. And then for the Brawlers, they could pick Mighty Colossus, Kazan, X. And in these close encounters, the Missile Prop and the Mighty Colossus will just lean really heavy into the damage. And I really hope that either one team picks damage and at least try to pick like characters that can apply a lot of pressure. And I'm pretty sure Zanseki is known to play Kazan on this map. I've seen him play it before in regular season. And they played like, I think, Vicious Vambrace too. And because I'm a really big believer in Vicious Vambrace Kazan, and especially on a side start, it's pretty good where you have a lot of kill confirms. And if they don't put a lot of pressure on you, you do 2 abilities and you're back to like half HP. So it's really good in like these close encounter maps where there's a lot of brawling, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of damage, and all you need to do is have a little bit of abilities and you're back to half HP.
And I completely forgot about this, but Zanseki does want to pick the Kazan, I think, but he's also a massive X player, I almost forgot. I said that Juliet was a signature pick. It might be for like the competitive league, but like just in general, he's an X specialist almost, and we can see that absolutely come out. I do expect, though, like you mentioned, that Vambrace Kazan to come out. We are going to be waiting for draft select to start in just a second, though. But on the flip side, I think Scandals picking up era here could be potentially really big. I think it's a pick that they like to play on this map. Scandal's a huge player of ranged goalies. I don't think they play very many melee goalies at all. I could be wrong on that, but we saw the Finny in the previous game. Every time I've seen him play goalie, it's been the Finny, it's been the Now, it's been the Era, and I have no reason to believe that they're going to change it up this game. And now I think about it, the Finny, like obviously a huge pick here coming into it, and with Fur being on blue side, it does mean that they, unless they want to contribute the ban and the first pick to take away that Juliet Finny, they might have to take one on the chin, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what goalie picks Ripstick would play here. Maybe like Dubu. I mean Asher again. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ripstick is a melee goalie drawer. I think he only plays like two
Yes.
characters, like Asher, Dubu. I haven't seen him in anything else, so I think he's just gonna stick to his guns and play the Dubu or the Asher and just hold it down like a true iron wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could absolutely be right. The missile propulsion. Oh, honestly, could just go for the size on the boo, right? I think that we've seen a lot of that. Whenever you have like a singular thing to defend, you could just go pauldrons and just strike hitbox your way out of things. But obviously, missile propulsion just good to add to the forward momentum that your forwards could have. So we'll see. We are waiting for draft to start. It feels like there's a little bit of a miscommunication here, maybe in draft select. But just talking about the game, in particular, I do want to say that this is I believe, I forgot what game 3 was, but if we are going to go to that, it's not pinned.
Inkies. I think it's
Inkies,
Inkies.
yeah. This is a crazy. I remember just talking about it briefly. This was like a crazy map draft. We had game 1 was I'm like game 1 at lab, which was like whatever. But Demon dies into Inkies for game 2, 3, which I think is going to be very exciting. And you know what? I'm gonna stand tall as someone who did contribute, who did help select the map pool for the NAS. I know it's controversial. I know that some people very much don't like this map pool. I like this map pool. I think we've seen very diverse picks. We've seen a lot of Inkies. We've seen a lot of applications. We've seen a lot of Demon Dies. And I think this is the map pool that does show that you really have to be comfortable with some maps. You really cannot be defaulting to Oni's Night Market often, because unless you're a specialist in one of those maps, you're gonna have to take something on the chin. And if you're not prepared to go to Inkies, if you're not prepared to go to Dies, if you're not prepared to go to App, a team can really catch you off guard for that. And I think that's what makes these map drafts so exciting. A lot of these teams just they want to draft check, or not draft check. They want to scrim check you. They want to check if you're prepared to use the portal on gates, if you're prepared to deal with Julia, Rasmus, Drakkar, and Imi's app. So I think this is really interesting. I think it's a really interesting pool, and we have not seen a lot of Atlas's Lab and Taiko Temple, which is really nice. Very nice.
Just like in this particular series, we have Atlas Lab, a pretty neutral map.
Yeah,
You can play for core control damage. You have Demon Dios, which is a pretty damage-heavy map, and then you have Inkies, a really volatile,
Guys,
fast-paced map.
we cannot be pronouncing Deus wrong in the Big 25.
sorry.
You're both so bad at this.
Demon
Deus.
Deus. Yeah, update from
Demon
production and
Deus.
Deus, blah blah. It's DD. It's
DD.
demon. I'm a demon die because I'm gonna demon. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stream. I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, it is Demon Dies. Wait, is it Demon Dies? No, it's Demon Day. I forgot already.
Demon Deus.
Demon Deus. Demon Deus.
Demon Deus.
Deus. You have to. It takes 21 days to form a habit. So it's Day. Yeah. Okay. Deus.
DD. Call it DD.
It's DD. I'm not gonna call it DD because I know my ass is gonna slip up one time. I'm gonna say demon. I'm gonna say demon does or some shit like that. All right. Well, this is a wonderful demon.
Demon what, Brickbat? Close. Come on.
What is it? What is demon?
Demon
Is it
Deus.
Deus? It's Deus.
Deus. Demon Deus.
I'm so unconfident now. I'm just gonna. Maybe it is DD. Maybe it is DD.
Okay.
Maybe it is.
The bands are coming in, right? has banned the
Oh,
Finny.
they've started. Thank God. Yeah, that makes sense. You just don't want to deal with it. Scandals obviously plays it incredibly good on the dais, as we like to call it here. Right? The deuce, the dies, the deuce, the days, the dais. Interesting to see though this Aimi gonna be picked up here. I actually am like really curious on what consensus is on Aimi on Demon Deus, because I feel like she's a bit of a mixed bag. It's hard to start the corner offenses that make her turret so strong unless you've opened up the barrier. If it's an open map, obviously that turret's going to be very good. But I oftentimes, and this could be me being bad at the game, I sometimes struggle to find value, like amazing value with the turret when the barriers are up. Of course, the damage is going to be incredibly good, obviously, but I definitely like pick a lot of things over it. Things like the Vice, things like hell, the Finny, even right that could do things like that. But seeing it first picked here is a little bit interesting. So on the flip side, I think ECL doing exactly what you think they were going to do, picking that Kazan, probably going to be Vicious Vambrace. I'm assuming that this Estelle is going to go over to Cragley. And on the flip side, Overgun Lemon, after feeling very good on the Zentaro pick, is going to be reprising the role.
And to round it out, we have Atlas in the net as pick 6. And it is Atlas missile prop, so it might be good. I personally don't believe in this Atlas character. If you play in the damage, he just gets out tempoed. I mean, you just if you know how to layer your abilities, layer your damage, you can't keep up. Like if you play in a certain way where you just you play around the primary, okay, that's one cooldown down, and you keep possession, and then the secondary is gone, and then he has no abilities to save anything, and then he just gets either killed or his teammates get killed fast enough.
Yeah, I think nope. I completely agree with you. There's maybe a world where the missile prop can be built into like power, and the Atlas could randomly find snipes, a la like seeing a Dubu somersault to KO someone. But I'd rather just see the Dubu here. I think I'd rather just see the one good meta melee goalie still be in here over any of the other subpar melee goalies, right? The Mako, Atlas, Asher, which I think has really seen a dramatic decrease in play this patch. So we'll see though. It might just be a comfort pick potentially for Scandals, but we'll see. I'm not too sure, but we are getting in a game finally after that draft, and we'll see. We'll see what Demon Deus has
Demon Dares
to give us. All right, cool, awesome. Let's go.
Right. I do this first set will set the tempo, the overall feel of the match, and the team who makes the decisive decision first will obviously win this match. And see if I'm more curious about Ripstick on this Rasmus goalie pick. We didn't really talk about it. Oh,
What happened?
terminating the match.
What
Unfortunate.
happened? What
But
happened?
back to the Rasmus point. I haven't seen Ripstick play Rasmus, and Rasmus on DD is pretty strong, especially on a Mighty Colossus start. You can
Yeah.
primary people. You can play you can do hospital clears and then kill people with the primary if they're not aware. But I think these players are good enough to play around that, and I will say I think the goalie matchup is way more important. Okay, what is happening?
Bro,
Uh,
what?
the goalie matchup is what to keep your eye out in this particular match.
Bro? Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Hold on.
Yeah, I mean they just quit the match twice in a row.
Yeah. Wait. No way we're taking a bathroom break right now. We're this late into draft. We're taking a bathroom break? No. No, I don't believe it. No shot, right? Yo?
Yeah, maybe
No, bro.
you should
Bro,
have.
is bro not potty trained? Like, what's happening here, bro? No.
We
This
did
is so
that to
crap.
do 10 minutes of. Oh, okay. They said
Wait.
they're back. They're ready. It looks like we're gonna head back into the match for the third time in a row, and hopefully the final time for this map, and get a move on, because we got more matches to play and more series to play as well.
Please. Please, I'd like to see some of Mega Strikers. Yo, I just looked at my video. My forehead's so shiny. Do you see this? Look,
I think
I'm
it's
so bald.
it's definitely the light.
Yeah, it's definitely the light, but I'm also like so bald. Like, guys, I don't think you realize you don't see it because of this headset here. But I mean, look, oh my god, look how thin this is, guys. But like low key, I'm like Megamind though because I'm
Oh,
incredibly smart and
that's
handsome.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm incredibly smart and handsome. So that's what
Yeah.
causes the shininess off of the head. Yeah, so that's something that I think I'd like to bring up before we get into game number 2 here, just so everyone's aware.
Yeah, gotta keep the attention span of our Omega Strikers community after being iced for 10 to 15 minutes. But this is finally, we're finally in. Surely we're gonna play the game and have a great Demon Deus match upon us.
Oh yeah, let's go. We're on we're on the dais. That just doesn't feel good to say. Like it feels good to say we're on the dais. People are gonna die, but we're on the dais. People are gonna hate us. Like what's gonna happen here? Like what do we say? I can't think of anything. We're on the court though. We're on the court and we've got that vicious van brace that you expected from Zonseki, and he's probably gonna need it because we've got double wand here. We've got Magician Zentara, Magician Aimi, and their magic trick is that they make your health bars go away. So we'll see what can happen. Pauldron's Might of the Colossus as well for Ripstick, right? Starting the game with a ultra chill, being a chilling 147 power here to start the game.
I really like that they made the decisive decision to pick double siphoning wand. And now against Atlas, the overall ticking of the damage will allow them to put more pressure onto probably Estelle here because overgrown Lemon 5 with the Blick shot. It's the first point.
Yeah, it's a bit, I mean, you know what? This is a bit of a magic trick right there. I'd be crossed up. I'd be a little woozy after something like that. Overgrown Levin continuing his awakening from game number 1. He's got to be feeling good, and we're going to continue that here. Not able to get the goalie barrier there. Unfortunately, reality is harsh, and he's going to have to walk away from this one very staggered. On the flip side, no. Sanseki gonna be the first person to receive the healing, but a bit of an unfortunate play means that it's going to be an open net here for Wheeze Shiny Fur. Oh my, I can't say it. I can't say it. It's Wheeze Little Fur. Hey, for Fortnite. And Fortnite, they're going to have the opportunity to score here. Angle Senpai not able to get the core though. Ripstick yanking it away from Zonseki before any sort of momentum can start for Chikara. Eclipse has this flip to work with too. Going to be very comfortable. Pendulum Swing comes out. Overgrown Lemon. No cooldowns there to confirm the core on the open net. Bit of a deja vu point though coming through. Overgrown Lemon gets into the top side of the net right through Scandals. And that is going to be a second point now for the brawler of Fortnite.
Yeah, the Cyber was really putting the pressure on for these little Furts onto Chikara Eclipse, and Overgrown Lim 5, his playstyle is really, really interesting. Like, you don't really see any, like, 1v1 brawlers that much anymore, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, he really excels at exploiting the goalie's tendencies, and really is playing to his game. Like, he plays confident, he doesn't falter when he like makes a mistake because he knows his team's gonna get him another chance, and that's what you want from a brawler. You don't want to give up when you okay, I missed my strike. Oh, I'm the worst player ever. I should quit the game. Like good striking from Sanseki, proving that he is capable of striking the ball as Kazan, and it's 1 point for Chikara Eclipse.
But a trifling matter, I'm sure, for Furret on Demon Deus. I'm really struggling today, and we'll see though. The defense not struggling just quite yet for Wheeze Little Furrets. They're gonna get one goalie barrier down. Oh no, the flip means that a second one might soon fall after, but a cool angle actually from Ripstick to get the clear. Unfortunately, not out of the woods yet. Another flip comes through from Angle Senpai, giving Overgrown Lemon an opportunity. 2v1 finds it here, but unfortunately, Ripstick just not fast enough. Now it's going to be completely evened up here for both teams.
I mean, the vicious Rembrace Mag Souls team is killing the people with double siphoning on, which is you do not want to see this side of Weasel Foods. They're just gonna settle in. Whipstick's gonna settle into this Rasmus pick, and Rasmus, it's not. He is a character that takes more brain power to play because you can't just strike primary like other characters. I mean, you can with Rasmus, but you have to do it with a purpose. You can't just throw it out because people, these players know how to exploit that. Because Rasmus is a brawler, and surely people know how to play against these Rasmus characters.
Yeah, unfortunately there, Zonseki proving that he does know what to do when confronted with Erasmus goalie point blank. Gonna be up to Scandals though here to save this potential final goalie barrier of the set. Cragley pass up to Zonseki, dribble forward, an opportunity here with the pull, unfortunately goes wide here, but Scandals still looking pretty here. Walking up with his flip, wants to maybe end it himself, but might not get the opportunity. No, does! Snipes it right away from Overgrown Lemon, doesn't counter flip. Fortunately, that's going to be the set over to Chikara Eclipse. Zonseki gonna be your MVP.
I mean, ooh, this is actually the triple size in this draft is pretty bad for both the goalie and the brawler for the 1-2 because you don't want to see all the size gone immediately. But just having it is good, and this heavy impact the super surface intel is also bad because you don't want to lose that. But this awakening, this draft is really interesting to take. I didn't even see explosive entrance. This draft is disturbing.
Yeah, I think it feels like everyone just got turbocharged. I feel like everyone just got what they wanted, with the exception of poor Scandals, who just picked stacks on stacks into double damage Dash Awakening Ivy Zentaro, and that's gotta feel bad. I don't know if you're gonna stay alive for long enough for that to be valuable.
A lot of damage is being stacked on right now because all three members of Wee's Little First got damage awakenings. We got Super Surge on the Ivy, which is really good. You have Size on Rasmus, which links into the Mighty Colossus. And Explosive Entrance got fallen down to Zentaro, which unlocks the Dash Awakening for Overrun Lemon 5. He is unlocked. Now we need to get the set 5, and he's double unlocked.
Ooh, and a good KO found here, Overrun Lemon. Oh no! Okay! You know what? It's technically better. It's technically better because now he's gonna respawn with a bar of energy. So it's like he flipped and got a little bit of a refund back. So that's actually worth it. Like, that's actually the best way it could possibly go for Overgrown Lemon 5, I think. So, well played. Well played, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that interaction happens. I see it pretty often. I mean, because if you catch the Zentaro lacking with that dash like that, but look at all that damage.
Oh, that damage.
They have to layer it even more. They have to deny the orbs. Okay, over them by kind of coy chasing the allowing Scandals to get free with that orbs. And it's not about just the damage. It's about controlling the amount of health that your opponent can gain. Because you can't. Okay, it's really easy to just hit people. But okay, that's low-key hitting people's heart in this game on the low, but making them stay low is the hard part as well. Like damage, people don't know how to like. It's really hard to like play damage in a way that is good for the other team.
I agree with that. As of right now, Zonseki, the midfield shot there, a little bit of a blue lock shot right there. Midfield goal coming through. 1 point for Chikara Eclipse. And it is, as you mentioned, though, the damage is scaling. The Atlas there, able to get 100 or so stacks in that previous engagement. That means a lot, but Scandal's immediately going to be biting a lot of damage here. The revive has to be used just to heal himself here. Overrun Lemon looking to take a second goalie barrier, does so in very quick fashion. 15 seconds in, one goalie barrier now down for Ripstick, though. Cragley looking to make this one a second, but it's going to be Zonseki with a pull. Does it all himself. Scandals cleared downwards. Cragley now advancing, has the cooldowns, but not going to find the goal with them. This is now 2 missing cooldowns. Overrun Lemon almost tries to go for it. Checks Scandals, but Scandals this time going to be ready for that. But the play is not over yet. Ripstick down to Angle Senpai. Cragley an opportunity to intercept that. He does. Pass goes to Zonseki. The triangle formation that does its work. 2 points here for Chikara Eclipse.
Roman 5, greedy for the hero play there. They play a bit more slow in that interaction. There's no reason to rush it. But now Ogre Limit 5 has no evade, and Short Eclipse honestly should just dump a lot of damage on Ogre Limit 5 because you can't fight back right now. And if he gets the orb for free, oh, he doesn't. And now you can just stack damage on either Angle or Ogre Limit 5 and put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, we also, ooh, Cragley, actually, just before anything can happen, snipes away the set in favor of Chikara Eclipse. Now a 2-0 lead. Chikara Eclipse looking to even up the set here in losers quarters. I forgot this is a tournament life series, season life series, so it's going to be a very big win. Let's see what we have in draft.
Craggy with the MVP. I'm looking at Ad Rush. Someone should really take this, and whoever takes Ad Rush in this scenario would probably win the game. But somehow Ad Rush is going to fall to 6. Okay. Thankfully, we get Ad Rush on the Atlas of all characters, and I think one of the forwards on the side of the Chikara Eclipse should have taken that Ad Rush, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Bit weird. Honestly, on the low, could have been the Rasmus too. Has a lot of damage, right? 159 power with Pauldrons. Had a lot of kill confirm himself, and I think I would have honestly gone for that if I were Ripstick. But here, going back into the game proper, Cragley gonna get a lot of healing to take a lot of damage, and might get sent off the map regardless. Sanseki looking for KO on Ankle Senpai, doesn't find it. Over on Lemon, 2v1 situation, doesn't get the goalie barrier, and now it's gonna be Sanseki to play alone with his midfielder gone. Ripstick now trying to get the core through it, but missile prop on Scandals makes this a little bit hard. Gonna lose that final goalie barrier though. Over on Lemon, ooh, finds the KO with Ioni's blade. That's the extra special Zentaro doing work in ways that you wouldn't expect it.
Yep. Extra special EE Mighty Class Zentaro with Siphoning on will stack the damage, and it will allow Overwhelming 5 to make these hero plays even easier with the special, and just allow him to apply pressure, take over the game, and do overgrown Lemon 5 things as he just takes the double barrier there.
Yeah, well, doesn't get the goal there, but an opportunity presents itself. One goalie down. Ripstick sends it in himself, seeing that opportunity, the gap in the armor between Cragley and Sanseki thoroughly taken advantage of. Ripstick now a second quick point here for Weasel Furrets. They're looking at just nab a set before anything could really happen in set number 3.
Yeah. I will have to point out, imagine if I think Angle Senpai take an Ad Rush in the scenario.
Yeah.
They have Super Surge, and you can just dash at people and just kill them from like 15 feet away, and they just apply the pressure, and they would have cooldowns here, and they would just stack even more momentum. But the power spike is fine, and it's still allowing them to put all the pressure and just play to their strength, which is just overwhelming the goalie. And I just wanted to say that Ad Rush is very important in these matches.
100% agreed, and because of that, it might cost these little Furrets that goal here. Sanseki and Cragley an opportunity.
Oh,
no, actually, Overgrown Lemon.
Over.
My bad. Overgrown Lemon 5, of course, has to take us to Overgrown Lemon set 5, maybe. We'll see if that actually does happen. Angle Senpai here is going to be your MVP.
Good thing is for, Chikara Eclipse, there's no Stinger in this draft for the double siphoning one team. And now, since Angle Senpai took the spike, they can take spike here. And there is 3 spikes in this draft, which is a bit unfortunate. So, no more spikes for the later. And it's looking like a really good draft for Weasel Furrets as we get Fighter Flight and Glass for Rasmus and Zentaro.
Yeah. On the flip side, too, that team player, obviously in Kazan, if you were goalie, you'd be good. But on Brawler, not so much. And as well, that's just a single spark of cooldown for Cragley, who otherwise has had an explosive build, so not much actually found here for Chikara Eclipse, whereas it feels like scaling is really coming through now for the side of Weasel Furrets.
As you see someone with no evade, you force the Atlas off, and now look, the healing is very negligible, and now Cragley is at half HP and out of the play, but Sanseki is helping his team out by applying so much pressure and getting those both barriers.
Very well played. Cragley with a breakaway, but unfortunately is going to be broken himself. Going to spend some time in the KO box. Flip from Scandals to keep the goalie barrier alive. No evade and no HP now. Soon to be gone from this world. There it is, the flip right in front of the net. Oh, the slow strike. Cragley ready for it though. Wins the strike war against Overgrown Lemon. Flip comes out, but not going to be used in time. Now one more opportunity there, and it's going to be taken in a way that you wouldn't expect. The hit stun actually going to prevent the strike from Cragley coming out. And a dirty point for Wee's Little Furrets, but they get it done regardless.
Yeah, I mean, look at this Rasmus, 187 power with the glass, double size, prime time. He's literally just hitting people, and that's what you want to do. Like, if you hit a person, that's good. If you hit the person and the core, it's even better. And they're just applying so much pressure, and it allows for Amy and Zentara just to do the job of either kill confirming or stacking more damage.
Right now, Ripstick going to be forced to play defensive here against Zon, Seki, Cragley, though. Going to be taken out on the other side of the map. Scandals and Zonseki in a 2v3 situation. Fortunately, going to lose one to the power play. Zonseki, though, critical strike war win, but the hook means that the play is still going. Overgrown Lemon 5 finds Scandals. A little bit of sleep there. Takes him out. Has his flip preserved. And it looks like we're going to be going to an Overgrown Lemon set 5.
Yeah, has the flip, has the passive. And they can make a little bit of a hero play here. They can look for a primary flip kill. They can look for this overall damage. And Alice should be back online here. So it might play a little bit more damage. We're back to a neutral state here.
Yeah, Overgrown Lemon a little bit too excited with the flip. Unfortunately, doesn't use it as well as he should have, maybe. Angle Senpai tasked with assisting the goalie on the clear. Overgrown Lemon, unfortunately, does not find that goalie barrier. Zonseki, though, also does not find the goal barrier with a flip. Very unfortunate for both brawlers, but it's going to be more unfortunate for one than the other. It's going to be the midfielder, Cragley, gone, but a little bit of a misplay by Ripstick means that there's an opportunity here for Chikara Eclipse. One goalie barrier down, Angle Senpai going to be low. Zonseki not able to win the strike war, and it's going to be Overgrown Lemon here. A lot of damage going on. Cragley effectively 100 is zeroing him. Has to play defensive here. The flip comes out here in overtime. Doesn't find the flashy play, but Ripstick is able to clear. No problemo for now. Flip as well, gonna mean that Ripstick gonna be playing incredibly safe here. He is able to play a little bit more aggressive than one might expect from a goalie in overtime here. Final goalie barrier goes down for the point. Zonseki with possession of the core. No, misses the pull. This could potentially be it. Yes, that it is. And a mechanical misplay from Zonseki fortunately capitulates the whole team. Scandal's just not able to make it there in time. The hit stun from Overgrown Lemon perfectly well timed.
And Stinger has fallen down to Overgrown Lemon. Set 5 Lemon has unlocked Stinger. And now, this draft is really good for the double siphoning one team. The scaling comp. Now you're rewarded with so much damage here.
I mean, what do you even deny here? Even with yeah, the Deadeye not going to be denied, and looks like Cragley just opting into the peak performance, hoping to stay alive. But it really just doesn't feel like that's going to be enough. It feels like you're going to die either way. So it's a little bit scary. Hot shot going in the hands of Ripstick, right? More cooldowns, but importantly, an Atlas deny for those cooldowns. And hey, it's Overgrown Lemon set 5. The man with X scaling built into the player. And already, look at that damage coming out. One goalie barrier down, 2 goalie barriers down. Angle Senpai with a second one. Ripstick, possession of the core, trying to get it through, but Zonseki with a pull, almost gets it out. That's going to be a dead goalie for the side of Chikara Eclipse. It's going to be looking like a power play for Wee's Little Firth. The piercing shot, though, perfectly timed, keeps the core alive. Zonseki, the size on this Kazan, gets the strike that he wants. The power play ends. Scandals is here and is immediately met with half his HP bar gone. Now the turret, the firewall sentry is going to be here. Overgrown Lemon looking to get more damage. Flip from Angle Senpai comes through, but it's not going to be enough. Will the flip be enough? Oh, the slow play comes through. It's a massacre in favor of Furret. Zonseki not big enough to save the core. The defensive line is going to be taken out here in set number 5.
Overgrown Lemon 5 squeezing the life out of Chikara Eclipse on that point. Playing it slow, playing it steady, playing with patience. And it just allows him to make the great decision of applying so much pressure. Because patience, the slow kill, the slowness of death is just what allows them to get that double barrier, double kill. And now they're just putting so much pressure on Angle Senpai pretty low, but Ripstick with the play, getting the primate, getting the kill. Oh, he's the squeezer. He's squeezing the life.
And in Overgrown Lemon's world, it is juiced or be juiced. And right now, Overgrown Lemon, he is juiced up. He's looking to take all of the concentrate for himself. He's going to be looking to beat Chikari Eclipse into a pulp. The damage is going to be coming through now as we get closer to the goalie barriers. Yeah, Zonseki looking low. The slow strike is going to be there. One goalie barrier down. The revive is there in time for Zonseki, but not in time to maybe save the core. No, he is able to be taken out. Craigley able to get one barrier on the flip side. Now a second opportunity. Zonseki has to make do with this flip, but it's just not a good position. The Firewall Sentry blocks any opportunity, and another flip now from this Aimi is going to end any sort of offensive play. Zonseki going to be taken out. Now it's going to be a power play. The flip preserves. No, it doesn't save the barrier, and this could potentially be it. Craigley and Scandals need to make a miracle play to keep this point alive, but Scandals can only do so much with this little HP. The slice and dice is there. The Oni's blade is there. The hit stun not going to be enough. Craigley, though, looking to take the strike ward. Amazing strike ward by Scandals, though, against the glitch pop. It's going to keep this core alive. An absolutely clutch moment, but they still have to score the point. Zonseki, another critical strike ward win, but the core is looking faster and harder to deal with at each passing moment. Overgrown Lemon 5 has awakened. Overgrown Lemon set 5 has come through, and the star of Wee's Little Furrets once again shines so brightly, and they're going to be punching their ticket to losers semifinals.
Have a date with Groundhog Day, and if they play this damage comp again, I think that they have really good success in this playoffs, because they look really solid. They drafted correctly outside the Adrenaline Rush. Personally, I think they should always pick that as a damage comp. But Overgrown Lemon 5, the squeezer, the juicer, the demon on the Zentaro, letting his demons out and killing everyone in sight with that stinger, EE, extra special Mighty Colossus build. And in that position, when you're given all the tools in your toolkit, you're bound to fly with that person. I salute you, Overgrown Lemon 5. You play like a beast.
Played like an absolute beast. 100% agreed. MVP. Almost always the MVP, it feels like, of this team. No shade to Ripstick or Angle Senpai. They just play that style to enable the mechanical plays from their brawler, and it really does show. Sort of kind of a baby Bun team, right? How Liari and Lily Bun play to enable Scyther Club. It feels like it's a very similar sort of genre of team, so to speak. And Overgrown Lemon is delivering on his promises. 8+1 here, another 50k damage performance, mirroring last game, right? And outperforming his previous game with an extra goal from what he got previously. One thing to mention, though, actually more so than in previous points, Ripstick, a very silent carry from here. 1+7 here on the Rasmus. I think that is actually quite absurd for a goalie to have that much goal participation, not to mention, right, over 40, 50 redirects on any other person in this game, notwithstanding, his midfielder, who is at 164. So really, Ripstick kind of a silent beast here, I think, in game number 2.
Yeah, his build was very good. Hot shot prime time allowed him just to beat people up with the primary and get the ball up. And that's all Overgrown Lemon 5 needs. He needs the ball to get into his hands, and Rasmus allows him to just strike primary and red core, and now the ball's on the other side of the field. And then they're walking towards the ball, and it's towards like the wall, and then you get Iris dashed, and you just get killed by Super Surge. And it was just an all cohesive team. They were more cohesive. They had the better comp. They played it to perfection, and that's why they're here in loser semis. Really solid play.
Yeah, we'll see, though. They are not out of the woods yet, or should I say the forest. They're going to be taking on, I think, they're going to be taking on the next series, and they're looking to make it to game 2. They've got one more series ahead of them, and we'll see how that ends up. Will Overgrown Lemon 5 and crew make it through? Hashtag stay juicing out there. That was the worst thing I've ever done. Let's cut to break. Let's cut to break. We're done here. We're
Yep.
done.
You definitely done
All right,
worse.
see you
We're
guys.
good. Hello, everyone. We're back with the loser semifinal, and Big Tilt, we gotta discuss. Is being in a winner's bracket a disadvantage because everyone who dropped from winners to losers so far has instantly lost?
It has to be the curse. They lose all their momentum and then they crash out. Not crash out. They crash out of the league. They crash in playoffs. But that's besides the point. We have Groundhog Day versus Weasel Furts, and Weasel Furts are gonna ride the momentum here, sir.
Yeah, they are nice and warm, but the same can be said about Groundhog Day, right? They looked very dominant versus the handless dogs. Both teams riding the high of today into the final match of today to try and make it to Championship Monday next week here. And this is going to be an interesting one. We're on Atlas Lab like usual, but I'd be interested if this game goes to a third map.
I mean, the star pick is Flowers getting her Vice with heavy impact on the pummelers. And it's not a traditional like team. It's Flowers playing basically like a brawler position as the midfielder. But oh my gosh. Juice Asian found dead in the Atlas Lab. Got layered by 2 abilities.
Yeah, that was a brilliant layer, and we saw a lot of that in the previous series from them as well, and we're continuing to see Angle Senpai and Overgrown Lemon collaborate on some fantastic goals and KOs. And my question is, how did this happen in the draft? How did Sphinx and Flowers get Juno and Vice? If Furt win regardless, good on them, but like, how did that happen?
They banned Jakar, and they let the not the one tricks, but the prize picks fall. The Sphinx and Flowers, but Overgrown Lemon, the Squeezer, he got the Juliet, his one trick, and I believe he will take over this game if it goes to set 5.
Yeah, I think they chose to ban the wrong player there. They took away Ripstick's comfort in the Asher, but Ripstick has been great on the Dubu as well. No problem here, it seems, as Flowers trying to get some damage down. But as long as Overgrown Lemon stays alive, I think that will be enough here as Ingo Senpai does manage to evade the damage. But the slime timing mix-up catches Ripstick off guard. Flip available for Ripstick. Has to chase the top side, but they can't get there in time. And that's going to be the game being evened up.
Yeah, the Ripstick unfortunately burns his flip as well. Angle Senpai burning the cyber swipe trying to catch the ball. And now they're losing the flip economy. Flowers has the flip coming up. Flip has the flip, and Sphinx has the flip coming up as well. So it's looking really good for the side of Groundhog Day.
And they're continuing to try and pressure this barrier here, and they catch Ripstick with a ton of strikes. Overgrown Lemon, though, 2 berries in an instant on the other end, and Ripstick wins the strike war against the teleporting Flowers as well. Dangerous spot to be in for Ripstick in this open net, though. But Angle Senpai helps out, cleans up. Overgrown Lemon in position, going for the strike into dash. It's slightly well-timed, but not well-timed enough as the KO comes through. If you sleep for even a second against Flowers, that's what's going to happen here as Ripstick continues to defend. The Tofu Fortress going to help out. The core stop going to make it awkward. Jewish Asian with the dribble right to Flowers as Angle Senpai comes back. Still a difficult situation for Groundhog Day, but they're putting on the pressure. Overgrown Lemon in position, trying to get the mix-up here, but Jewish Asian has the strike shot to secure the save. And once again, it feels like the Weasel Little Furt's offense is slowing down a little bit too quickly here, while Flowers and Sphinx maintain possession, continue to put on the pressure, continue to get the passing plays down, and like the previous series, Jewish Asian not having to do too much.
I think this is a better matchup for Groundhog Day, because I mean, I think Juice Asian is really rock solid against these 1v1 players like Nikki Minilin and Overgrown 5. So it's gonna be a bit harder for the Lemon to do his juicing for his team.
Yeah, I think you pointed out a really big factor there. The Jewish Asian against teams that depend on their brawler being the main carry, being the star of the show on the offense, just is able to neutralize that with efficient striking. And we're seeing that again here as Ripstick tries to help out on offense like he did in the previous series, but unfortunately it just leads to the barrier going down.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this Juliet Mako matchup. I personally think it's pretty good for Juliet because you can play around the secondary by just punching it. It's a really quick cooldown, and the kill comes out. It's looking. I feel personally that Juliet does pretty good with the Mako here.
Yeah, and we're seeing the effects of Flowers as well, right? The KO player of NAST. probably the most known for damage in the entire league, and continuing to make it go through. But Angle Senpai with a Cyber Swipe, well timed, and Overgrown Lemon with the Strike War, and suddenly a game that felt like it was slipping out of Bird's hands is now all the way back to even.
Yep. Flowers, not the Scythe one damage type of player, but rather the catch you lacking kind of player. They want to put you in sticky scenarios like that. I mean, you got caught lacking on the Atlas Lab, and now it's a power play with that palm speed, and it's allowing for Groundhog Day to really put on the pressure here.
Flowers now on the bottom side. Overgrown Lemon on that store to Slimes, putting on the knockback as well as Jewish Asian limits the damage. That could have easily been a 2-barrier take. Good survival by Flowers. Getting conveyor belted at the moment, but still managing to stand here. Jewish Asian, though, misjudging the distance. The barrier is going down, and Sphinx now on the top side trying to find an opening. Overgrown Lemon, though, lurking, healed all the way back up, and Flowers still on that store. Comboed by all 3 members in the corner and taken out. A Jewish Asian now the one who has to hold on, but it's not going to be easy in this open net against these two. Getting it to the corner, getting a barrier out of it though, and Jewish Asian capitalizes. That's huge. That's a power play as well. Overgrown Lemon taking too much damage, and suddenly with Groundhog Day weathering the storm, Burt are in a huge amount of trouble here. Sphinx will secure the set, and it was such a good opportunity by Groundhog Day. They survive.
Getting caught. They really played into they saw Overgrown Lemon 5 had that flip there. They really punished them as Flowers gets the MVP and the ad rush. I think, yes, Flowers is going to take the ad rush, and it's going to really punish Weasel for dying. And now the Vice is going to get the cooldowns back and look for even more like tricky KOs.
Yeah, the adrenaline rush. You always mention the adrenaline rush, right? You're always angry when a player doesn't pick it in a good spot. And this is a great spot, and they did pick it. And I'm a little afraid for what's going to happen to Wee's Little Furs here. Flowers, of course. Again, I've said it 20 million times. Iconic for this.
I mean, Sphinx does pick up the dash range as well. And that'll allow for Ripstick to have to play. They have to play tight to the ball. They can't really go for these out clears because Juno's always gonna. Sphinx is the type of player who will always save the jump, and they will punish any out clear. And if you make one mistake against Groundhog Day, they will punish you for it.
They're also using hit stun quite well. Overgrown Lemon going for the flick, but Sphinx with the patience gets it out of the corner here, digging it out as Flowers as well. Angle Senpai trying to find a passing lane, but Flowers just so quick thanks to the Mako speed. Uninterrupted for now, and Jewish Nation barely makes the save happen once again. Angle Senpai now in position. The dash used a little bit early, but that means that Groundhog Day are in position to Firewall Sentry. Perfect. The Incendiary Drum slows it down, but Overgrown Lemon, Sphinx gets there again, helping out Jewish Asian so well in these moments, and a good strike shot to make sure Overgrown Lemon can't get it done. Another primary. Jewish Asian, the cooldown uptime, because they're not under that much pressure on the regular, getting a KO on the Angle Senpai buffer as well. And the Slimes are coming in, and Flowers is there to cover, and they just look so comfortable.
Yeah, Jewish Asian, ice in his veins, putting the lockdown on Overgrown Lemon 5. He's not afraid. He's really putting the fight up the Julie here, and just really not getting matchup checked. He knows their tendencies, and I think he has the download here.
Double barrier taken already by Flowers. Sphinx on the top side, minding the core, making sure Angle Senpai can't set up at all. The Firewall Sentry completely wasted, and Flowers just wiggling, forcing Ripstick into a tough save and getting the bottom corner shot. It's a Groundhog Day sweep right now. They may have entered the playoffs in the loser's bracket, but they're looking like they might be the favorites here.
I think the national experience for Flowers really put them in a really good mental capacity to really play with confidence, and they just 1v9 beast mode. Flowers on the Vice just takes over. Look like Overgrown Lemon 5 here on the Vice. I mean, they just put the backpack on and put Groundhog Day up 2 sets.
Yeah, and now has a whole host of very scary awakenings here. We'll take the explosive entrance, but there's so many good picks here, aren't there?
Bulk up, extra special, twin drive. And if Mako gets any more cooldowns, I think this might be GG, because they'll just cycle. Like, okay, I'm going to use my ult. I'm going to use my primary to stuff the Juliet. And I'm going to use my evade to get away from the dash punch stun. And this is looking really bad for the side of Weasel Furts.
Yeah, it is not looking great. The awakenings aren't game changers for them. And although they do have more Firewall sentries to play with, I don't think that'll be the difference maker here. Sphinx with the dash up time is the more notable factor in the core control department, and we're going to see some snipes here. Unsuccessful this time, but a sign of things to come.
Station with the beautiful clear, and now they could really just tack on the damage because Flowers has Ad Rush, they have the explosive entrance, and Ripstick caught sleeping on the wheel, and Slink just gets the goal, and I think they're playing at a faster pace than Weasley Forts are prepared for it, and they might just get swept away.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, right? When Flowers subbed for EKC, her main weakness in that series in the NAST level was just how she was killable. But these opponents are not playing KO comps against Flowers, so it's like Flowers has no weaknesses in Nasty right now. And of course has leveled up quite a bit after that NAST experience as well. So definitely the all-around midfielder at the moment, getting KOs now, being the KOer. And Sphinx is also jumping around, putting on the pressure to Tofu Fortress, goes wild. Overgrown Lemon, though, with the drift, catches an awkward moment, and the log's good, but Overgrown Lemon pre-strikes! Oh no, that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, I don't think Weasley Fights are expecting Flowers to pop off like this. Flowers demands respect. I think she deserves it when playing this well. And this is a wake-up call for Weasley First, so they want to take back this game at least, because they're down 2 points, and they're getting outpaced by the speed from the Mach from Just Asian. Overall Lemon 5 is being locked down. I mean, they're getting damaged, and they can't really do anything about this unorthodox comp.
Oh, goes for the demon angle. That was almost a Jewish Asian goal right there. Flowers looking for the strike war to look to close this out. Putting on damage on Overgrown Lemon even still here. And Jewish Asian hasn't dropped a barrier in 3 million years. That guy's ancient and the KOs will come through, but the respawn right on time to make sure the power play does not occur. Overgrown Lemon now looking for an opportunity, but there's so much more mobility on the side of Groundhog Day. Dangerous spot to be in for Ripstick in this open net. Ingle Senpai, Flowers pushing forward. There's the KO for Overgrown Lemon, but Flowers just trades it right back. Has the killer instinct, and this barrier not falling. It's a Jewish Asian sweep. It's a masterclass on the defense. It finally goes down, but now they're still in trouble as Ripstick takes it slow. Flowers with the rebound. Flowers looking for the combo play, and Overgrown Lemon with the chance, but Flowers is continuing to put on the pressure here. Not going to get it this time, but there's Sphinx to the top corner. Flowers up to Sphinx, looking for an opening. The Slimes are good, and it's a Groundhog Day steamroll for this first game.
That was a masterclass on defense, offense, and just overall the ice cold. Every single player played exceptional. Flowers took over the game with their finding these really good kills. I mean, they didn't respect her, and once again, like I said, she demands respect if you're gonna play. If you're not gonna be awake, you're not gonna look out for those kills. You have. It's like she's like a Juliet with 5 million power awakenings at all times. Like you have to respect her, and if you don't, you get steamrolled like that. Jewish Asian lockdown goalie. I mean, that guy went beast mode on the layering in that last interaction on that bottom barrier. They layered against Overgrown Lemon's offense, and he just looked lost. That was great. I mean, well played for the side of Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Jewish Asian masterclass. Doesn't have to do much, but when he is under pressure, flawless. You know, and that's the entire team just so synergizing well together. These little birds need to find a way to put on the damage pressure, I think, because I do not think they'll be winning in the core control department.
They have to figure out how to really look back at this. Like, okay, what can we do to slow down the pace of this game? Because the Groundhog Day is playing at Mach 9. They want to go fast with the Magu speed, and they want to play fast and make sure that these points go quick, so they just get overwhelmed with all the pressure. And it's really up to Weasel First to either fight back with damage, like what they did against Chikara Eclipse with the double siphoning one. I think that if playing like that core control double slicks doesn't work, they have to pull something out of the bag here, because right now they're like 1 foot into the grave. They're really locked down here. They need to find something.
Yeah, there needs to be a big change here. Maybe the damage comp that we saw in their Chikara Eclipse series might be the key to getting things done. But, you know, there's a lot of different ways this one could go. So, any other thoughts?
Um, the Juliet was good. They found the dash punches, but I think because I want to talk about this Juliet Mako before. I still really think that Juliet can really work around it if you play in a certain way where okay, you're gonna just stand on them for the secondary, and then I'm not sure the interaction with primary with dash punch, like Mako primary, if you like hold it, does it straight up beat the dash punch or not? But I think playing against the cage, she has a core stop, so you can really like negate the pressure of the cage, but you have to trade abilities. And in that scenario, Jewish Asian is always gonna take that because I mean he has so much more and he trusts his strike and he trusts his patience. So like in a vacuum, Juliet Mako I think is Julie favored, but in this player matchup, Jewish Asian got that dog in him. He got the lockdown.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. The next map is coming up here, and we're gonna take a look at the character draft now. And oh my, it's a Dead Eye Spark of Strength start on the night market. This is looking a little scary, I gotta say.
Yeah. I think for you have to play Damager. Like you have to play double siphoning one and out tempo Groundhog Day, so you don't get outpaced and make sure that okay, we're gonna keep Flowers in check by putting pressure on her so she doesn't just run around and do vice things like primaries. Like you have to focus on someone and make sure they don't play the game. It might seem pretty lame, but if you want to win, it's playoffs, so you have to play the best way to win.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens here. Unfortunately for Fur, they do have blue side. They do get the first pick. They do get to maybe deny away a pick. Maybe pick the Vice up on that first pick. But even with that, I do not think it will be an easy game for sure. Especially because they do pick the Aimi. I do like that. Angle Senpai played it very well in a damage on the Demon Deus match they had earlier. But the issue here, right, Big Tilt, is that they have to out KO a Groundhog Day that looked fantastic on Night Market previously. And this is also a map that kind of facilitates the Jewish Asian playstyle as well. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I would draft here as Groundhog Day, yeah, pick the Jakar, pick the Vice for the 1-2. Oh, they picked Dubu. Interesting. I mean, they just want to like. I personally would have liked to see Mako here. You play Deadeye, and you just primate Overgrown Lemon 5 on repeat, so they just die. And then you let Flowers just pick up the kill, or the Jakar, who
They're trying to pinch
pretty
Ripstick's
good.
pool. They're trying to pinch
Yeah.
Ripstick's pool a little with this Dubu. They're trying to say you're not going to be as good outside of Dubu and Asher. And I do kind of like that because they're kind of daring them to also maybe
Pick like Rasmus. Yeah.
yeah, and also because playing device, right? You could save device till later. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they first picked the midfielder, so obviously Lipstick is not going to play Vice unless they do, which I highly doubt it. So this is example of how to draft. Like this is really good.
Yeah, very very well done by Groundhog Day so far. We'll see how the comp gets rounded out here by Wee's Little Fur. It's one more pick remaining. And it's gonna be the Atlas, and looking at the draft as a whole, especially if that Vice just gets locked in the final slot. Oh
Yeah,
my, it's a Groundhog Day masterclass.
Yeah, they played this draft to a T, and I'm really I'm really scared of Weasel Birds here. They pick Atlas. Okay, they pick Atlas in the Big 25, and we saw what happened with Atlas in the previous series. He got shot. And I would really like to see the Rasmus here from Ripsick. I mean, he does a Deadeye start, he has a power start. You can just hit, like, primate people and allow for the doubles. They have to pick double siphoning one here for it. And now allow them to play in the damage comp and maybe, like, fight back. But in this scenario, they're kind of chained. They can't really do anything.
Yeah, we'll see if Groundhog Day can execute their fantastic draft here. And We's Little Fur, it's an uphill road. But, of course, we have seen teams get past their struggles in draft and be the better team before. It's going to take a lot from them, but it's definitely not impossible. a big advantage to Groundhog Day, but Weasel Furrets, they could get it done here. We'll see.
For this particular map, not map, well, game technically, it all relies on Weasel Furrets siphoning all their power to Overgrown Lemon 5 to get them to set 5 and unleash his potential. He needs to be the squeezer. He needs to squeeze the life out of Groundhog Day, so they gives them a 1-1 chance to go to map 3. And the only way they can do it is play double siphoning wand against his damaged characters, and it's gonna be hard, very hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this game plays out, but like you said, I expect a lot of damage. I hope the gears are also going to be angled that way as well. But as we see what they've actually locked in, what are your thoughts?
Oh, looking at the awakenings here. Oh, they locked. I'm sorry, Weasel Ferrets. Why did we pick double mag souls? Please, no. That might be Cooksire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're definitely behind in the damage race early, so that's not going to be too easy here. But Overgrown Lemon, no stranger to these situations, of course, but it might be a stranger to the playoffs after this one, unfortunately. It is looking like a Jewish Asian masterclass, looking so comfortable on the Dubu. And Ripstick, on the other hand, both barriers down a player. Big tilt. It's happening.
I'm sorry, but Angle Senpai, you've been hit by that like 4 times already. I think it might be a ping issue, but maybe position a bit better so you don't get hit by that. Or evade. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. That was hard to watch, but this is not over. It's only the first point. I'm kind of dooming, but it's looking pretty bad for Weasel Ferrets.
All right. Well, we'll see. Ripstick does have a lot of meter built up. Jewish Asian dropping a barrier early here, which means Angle Senpai can set up with the Firewall Sentry, but so efficiently handled on the other end. Overgrown Lemon already on death's door. Not long for this world as Flowers plays solo offense here. A back pass to Ripstick. Quite nice, I gotta say. But an Overgrown Lemon does heal up, but low on energy. If they can target Flowers, that could be good here, but it's going to be hard when she's running all over the place and getting just getting the barrier like that. What?
Yeah, you can't let that happen when you're playing against these caliber teams. They're really gonna punish you for playing without. If you're not playing at 100%, you're gonna get steamrolled. And this is not the best look from Weasel Ferrets. I'm surprised. They look so strong in the previous series. But this kill might send the momentum for the side and maybe give him a wake-up call.
Well, we'll see. Angle Senpai pushing forward here. Up to Overgrown Lemon. A barrier take very quickly. Taking advantage of this power play here. But Flowers is back now to Tofu Fortress. Blocks the top side completely. And now Sphinx in position on his quote-unquote better pick on the Drakkar. I think I was the one who started that narrative like 2 years ago. But anyway, that's ancient at this point. Sphinx now on the top side looking for an opening here. Doesn't have the range of the Juno, but does have the immediate KO pressure. Trying to find the pass to Flowers, but gets KO'd in the process. And that's a huge power play for Weasel first. They got to make something happen here. They got to find the goal, but Jewish Asian, what a good roll. Just stalls so much time. Saves the goal as well. And Jewish Asian, once again, just so confidently making the saves here.
Yeah, I think in order to beat Jewish Asian here, you have to play together. You have to either pass around him or you kill. But they picked double mag souls and sadly they don't have the damage right now to put the pressure on. And see, look, they're trying to force it through the Dubu, but he's playing rock solid. You have to play together in order to get these points.
Oh, and what a good glitch pop there. Angle Senpai. Maybe you don't have to play together if you have the core speed like that. It's 1-1.
There's many ways to beat this Dubu, and you can't just hyperfixate on, oh, I'm gonna force it through this guy. And Jewish Asian is a good enough player to exploit that to a T. Like he's gonna strike, he's gonna use his abilities, and if you don't figure out how to get past him, Flowers and Sphinx are just gonna steamroll.
Let's see. That's another KO coming through. Flowers starting to get it done here, and this first set's so important. If the side of Weasel first. Let's get out of control. If Groundhog Day can get the first draft, it will be devastating for the damage scaling. But if Weasel First can survive, if they can be the ones getting the first draft, they could be the ones KOing perhaps. And 2 barriers taken. They use a lot of energy, but it's well worth it if they can get the goal here.
Barriers down. And now Drew's agent is looking at the flip. He's going to save it until he really needs to use it. And a little bit of ping pong, but we struck into the Dubu, sadly. And we're trying to force it through him. And it's not what... Overgrown Limit 5 needs to realize that, okay, we can't be striking in front of the big Dubu, and we can't be playing 1v1s, because if you don't make the most of your interaction, stuff like that's going to happen. Flowers is going to make a hero play and just do that, or kill someone. So they have to change the game plan here.
Yeah, we'll see. But Angle Senpai taking a lot of damage, and I think Flowers smells blood in the water here because... Oh, never mind! Angle Senpai gets a little bit of revenge there. Finds the goal. Finds the KO, and looking to try and find a goal to even it up here. Again, this first set's so important, but Sphinx proving that the Drakkar is the better character in this player's lineup here. 2 barriers already taken despite the power play, and continuing to put on the midfield pressure.
Again, they're playing this corner offense here, which is they're trying to keep possession, and overall number 5 is pretty low, so they're probably gonna look for a kill, but he gets reversaled. A bit too hasty on the trigger there. The flip comes out. Flowers looking to seal the deal with the ping pong with the pummeler speed, and now Sphinx is looking at the flip here side. It's looking really good. They just need to get the ball up, maybe take Angle Senpai's flip, and just seal the deal here.
Oh, it's a good save by Ripstick. Good primary to get it out, and good to hit it away from Flowers as well. But a good shot by Sphinx right between the two. Threads the needle, finds a set win. And let's take a look at how far this draft can take us.
Look at the ad rush. Look at... Oh, yeah. Okay. They can't see it, but low-key, Jakari doesn't take ad rush here. He takes prize, and maybe allows the Vice can get ad rush. If they don't deny ad rush, they lose the game. I'm sorry. Okay, they did.
Yeah.
But Prize Fighter is still pretty scary here, and Overlord Limit 5 is basically left with scraps. Yeah, not really scraps, but like...
Still got some Eye of the Colossus, but overall not the greatest draft for the side of Weasel First here. I think the one good thing, though, is that Angle Senpai has been finding a lot of counter KOs, and that Adrenaline Rush could prove to have a ton of value here. We'll see if that is indeed the case. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely something that could occur if Overgrown Lemon can stay alive and put some damage onto Flowers.
They really have to high roll and draft in the next set if they win. They need to roll Stinger, and they need to sit on Flowers and just not let her play the game. And just play lame as possible so she can't really do much. Number 5. Angle Senpai taken out for the 5th time with the primary ult special, the Flower special, the Bloom Doom, the Bloom of Doom. They just died.
Yeah, they did indeed just die, but while you were saying that, Angle Senpai still had enough time to get back. Weasel First still in a decent spot, right? They didn't drop their second barrier, but Angle Senpai very close to getting taken out. Flowers building up those prize fighter stacks as well. Gets the flip KO. Overgrown Lemon on top side, but Jewish Asian continues being the fantastic goalie and saving everything, it feels like. But Overgrown Lemon times it perfectly, gets it out of there, but Jewish Asian, the save was perfect, the KO found, and the prize fighter stacks are only counting up right now.
That did not look like a kill on my screen. Maybe because I'm lagging, but that was disturbing. They just died in the goal box. That's something you don't want to let happen, and unfortunately, the overtime kicks in, and the faster core slips by Ripstick. The strike shot does not catch, and the flip is not used, and first point going to Groundhog Day.
Yep. A little unfortunate here, and Groundhog Day continuing their dominance in this game. Angle Senpai low now, same with Overgrown Lemon, the damage pressure. If they just focus here, that will be Angle Senpai gone perhaps. Sphinx, I think, is noticing it a little bit, but the barrier still not taken here. The flip burn to try and make it flawless from Jewish Asian, unsuccessful, but Flowers putting on the strike pressure, trades it on the other side. The KO pressure not that strong at this point, but I think Groundhog Day are also winning the core control department right now.
I mean, Sure, the Flowers is fishing right now. She really wants that kill. And, yep, as I say that, the night market speed they get away with highway robbery. The speed allows them to run away from the primary ult, and now Flowers has no cooldown, so they can at least try to play more possession and try to put a little bit of damage on the Flowers or Swings.
Yep. Sphinx now going up to the top side, pretty low, but not in any danger of being KO'd. It feels like that the rush doesn't connect.
Gosh.
Overgrown Lemon lagging back, lagging forward, lagging everywhere. This lobby does not seem to be on a very pleasant server for Overgrown Lemon, perhaps. Flowers though on the other side, the core speed, the power from the prize fighter creating some crazy situations here. Another KO, that's max stacks for Flowers.
Or prize fighter stacks for the Vice. And now she's red coring with the strikes. Overgrown Lemon has the flip here. Trying to flake for the... Oh. I think he should have pulled the trigger there. Yeah, he could have got like a flip kill. He does have 131 power, so maybe that would have killed. You need to make something happen now, because you're just going to get steamrolled, and you need a little bit of momentum to at least catch your bearings.
Yeah, and Flowers, of course, just exploiting the fact that Ripstick doesn't often cover the near angle, right? In a lot of cases, Ripstick covers the bigger space in the open net rather than the closer angle. And with Flowers having that core speed from the power, that near angle gets a lot scarier. And we saw that in the past few points. Sphinx comes out of nowhere. Lower accurate Drakkar with the Xeno cloak and finds the barrier take as well. 2 points on the board. Jewish Asian with the flip. Flowers going in fearless right now despite getting knocked back in the end and flip for being forced out. Sphinx is just performing on a Drakkar.
Yeah. I mean, everyone on Groundhog Day is playing to perfection. Jewish Asian didn't lose his mind against Zentaro. I mean, he's just well studied. I think he did his homework here. He studied Overgrown Lemon 5, he knows his tendencies. Or he's just a really rock solid player. I'm really impressed with everyone on the side of Groundhog Day. They're playing to a T, they're playing to their strengths, and they're not letting Weasel Furs get any momentum.
Overgrown Lemon trying to stop that right now, but Angle Senpai on death's door already. The Thunderstruck not connecting, but Flowers again with the core speed. You gotta watch out when Flowers has 4 prize fighter stacks in overtime, and they are 1 set away from advancing to the top 3.
204 power for the... Oh, no. Heavy Impact Stinger 1-2. Pick at the litter. And Atlas has to deny... They have to deny something here. Stinger 1-2, but it's not really good on him. This is the curse. Yeah, it's over. Dire. Yeah, it might be just...
Atlas can't deny anything here, because if he denies one of them, Drakkar just takes the other, right? So this draft is so scary, and I think we foreshadowed it in the beginning of the game, right? Just not many outs from Weasel first unless they can play even better than the competition, and that's not going to be easy when Groundhog Day are so on point here.
They're drawing dead here. I mean, there's not really, like you said, not many outs. And it'll take a masterclass from Weasel Furs to even get a glimpse of the light at the end of the tunnel, because they have heavy impact Vice with 204. Oh, but somehow that doesn't kill. They really like the power there. But that's Atlas Evade gone, and now the Stinger is going to stack on to Angle Senpai, and they're going to be locked down. They can't really do much.
Oh, Sphinx, despite it all, despite getting hit by 3 different cooldowns, still manages to find the barrier here. Angle Senpai and Overgrown Lemon trying desperately to find an opening. Almost gets it, but the core knocked away at the last moment here. Sphinx is everywhere as well. Angle Senpai with a good evade will make the save in that moment, and Overgrown Lemon going in for the offense. Angle Senpai with the set up and the great slice and dice to find the barriers. Flip available, but flip used so early here, and Jewish Asian now under a lot less pressure to perform in this open net. Ripstick still has the flip, a big advantage perhaps, but Sphinx played so patiently there. Flowers on the bottom side forces a flip, and Jewish Asian just a brilliant roll once again, hitting it to the other side of the world here, and Flowers with so much space, building up the meter. So much control for Groundhog Day in this open net situation.
They're just playing to their strength. They're not allowing Ripstick Cressari as the ball was sliding past him. That's not a good look. And 1 point for Groundhog Day. I might seal the deal. 3 flips. I'm gonna predict Flowers is gonna walk up to someone and they're just gonna kid dump him, and then it's gonna die. Or,
Oh,
my bad, Jewish Asian just dies.
Jewish Asian dies. Well, that's one way for these little birds to get back into the game, but Overgrown Lemon not in a good spot. Good Oni's Blade to survive for a little bit longer to fake out flowers and burn the resources. And those 3 flips are gone with only 1 barrier to show for them. That was a doom situation for these little birds, but they're only 1 barrier down, really.
You know, they got 3 flips, and only 1 barrier for Groundhog to take it. But the Stinger value is going to stack up. Unfortunately, whiff on the Billy's flowers. That was like half a health bar there that could have been taken. And oh, good strike win from flowers. 1v9 backpack mode is happening. Roll out from the Dubu. The Dubu dies.
2 deaths in a row. It's a little bit awkward. Overgrown Lemon brought low, but the defense is the question, and Angle Senpai is the answer. It's 1-1 now. Weasel Furt's not out of it, but Furt have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, Furt, they're fought back, and that's what they see. KO the Ripstick knows the plan. You have to kill them, or at least apply pressure with damage. So it gives them enough time to. Oh, it's playing too fast though.
Oh.
Yeah, they got punished for it. It's unfortunate. They saw it 1 point and then decide, oh, we're gonna play too fast. We're gonna hyperfixate on trying to get this win, and now they're getting punished for. They're trying to catch their bearings, but Flowers just punishes it.
Yeah, they were overcommitting in the corner,
Oh
and they even
my
just a
God.
raw KO on the misposition from Ripstick. But yeah, they overcommitted in the corner, got damage dumped,
that
and
was the
now
start,
now they're
That was
just
the
getting
start.
reaction checked by Flowers. That's crazy.
No. Okay, if I was Angle Senpai there, I would not expect that Vice ult to kill me. Like, personally,
Yeah, how many prize fighter stacks, bro?
was it? Oh, okay. Low-key, if not paying attention to that, that's on you, but I won't lie, I would have not admitted that. Like, I don't blame him for dying there.
All right, potential final point here of Groundhog Day. Secure the win. Flowers, such a threat in the damage department, and with those prize fighter stacks, anti-heavy impacts, just a massive threat here. Trying to find a core control win, trying to find the barrier take, and just a primary alone KOing Angle Senpai. This map, it feels like further out of their element here, while Groundhog Day are fully in it. They are pushing forward, looking for this final barrier take, putting on the damage, double barrier, such coordination from Sphinx and Flowers, while Overgrown Lemon looks to try and make a play on the other side, almost gets KO'd from a single primary. The flip goes wide, but it's still 1 barrier standing for Groundhog Day here. Sphinx pushing forward, Xenocloak activated, Ripstick makes the save for now as Jewish Asian continues to clear it away.
Over Lemon was getting interactions here, but what did Flowers kill with? Was it primary flip?
Well, Flowers gets the KO, and it's an open net. Sphinx to Flowers, the core speed too much for Ripstick to handle, and Wee's Little Furts, unfortunately, their run will end here. It's a Groundhog Day sweep as they advance to day 3.
Yeah. Over Lemon 5, unfortunately, could not get unlocked. He got juiced. His team got juiced. They got squeezed to death by Flowers. The Bloom of Doom. Taken down.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm trying to make some acronyms. I'm trying to give her flowers per se. I'm trying to give her the respect that she needs. 'Cause she put the backpack on and she got the kills. She got the win, and it was a well-deserved series. With Groundhog Day, and unfortunately, with my sad condolences, 4 Weasel Firsts are out at 4th. But they had a good run, and it was so fun watching them play Ogun 11-5, the squeezer. Squeezed by the
Your
team.
Mega Strikers
And
community is
unfortunately-
not beating the illiteracy allegations after this. No, not even after this one. It's been
Not
a long
even.
time coming, but
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, this roster can definitely go further in the playoffs. Looked very good. Sphinx in particular impressed quite a bit on both the Juno and the Ricard. And of course, you can't forget about Flowers getting the flashy plays, getting the KOs, creating a difficult damage situation for every team they face today. And, well, Groundhog Day, we'll see how they do versus frickin' esports aren't grands, versus Koyo.
Oh, I thought. Oh, my bad.
No. Yeah, you're not a believer in frickin' esports?
No. Okay, I won't lie. I didn't catch winners finals. I thought Koyo won. My bad. My ISS goalies
You're so
on
fake.
the roster for freaking esports.
You might be the
Don't
fakest
let me
person.
don't catch me lacking. Don't catch me lacking.
You
Story,
caught
if see
yourself
this, It's not
lacking.
my fault. I caught myself lacking. My bad. My bad.
It was a 2-0. But with that, that was it. Big Tilt, any last words before
Uh,
before we end? Yeah.
Koryo, don't get squeezed by the flowers. That's it. I'll see you guys later.
It's cooked.